calling me.
Marks, go with whatever I say, yeah?
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's not bad, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
Why you have to say that as well?
Because you can't just...
P.S.
Thumbs up.
Then I can't just agree. I can't just agree to that. Go,
Mate, that's
Marks,
dangerous.
go with whatever I say.
Next week you're getting cooked clean by lunchtime.
Yeah. It's not bad, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
Why you have to say that as well?
Crap. Well, you can't just...
Are we live? Yes.
Yeah, no, we are.
Then I can't just agree. How?
Discord.
No. It's...
Good morning, people. It is Thursday, the 7th of March. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves.
It's your boy, 6 foot plus of pure temptation. Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, people.
As always, your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That's right. Brent, you up in
Morning. Blessed and highly favored.
here? Right. Why is it favoured?
Because
Why
I'm
laugh like
reading
that?
the comments.
What's the comment saying?
The mic's on! And Chijoke says, guys, Brett knows. You know me too well. Chijoke. Morning, Gin and Gist. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, Black Mara. Good morning, Amy Snow Globe. I'm going to call you today, young lady. Good morning, Tintin. Good morning,
lady.
Pal Wal. Young lady. Good morning.
How was the young lady?
What?
Oh, man.
Good morning, Crud Crow. Good morning, Rusty. Good morning, Star Crow. Good morning,
You
Abiel.
are just a problem.
It's stuck now. Good morning, Ian B. Good morning, Charles Mack. Good morning, Priz or Pris. Good morning, Mercy Prestige. I ain't seen you in a while. Good morning, Purple Hells. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Thai Boogie. Good morning, Lala. Good morning, Chijoke. Good morning, Marlene. Right, Marlene. Miss Marlene was named my nursery teacher in Trinidad.
Was it?
Good morning, Everest. Good morning, Dr. Amani.
Good morning.
That doctor just... Like,
Oh,
different
something about a
each
doctor,
time.
man. I think I want to be a doctor's wife.
Yeah.
But they just work too much sometimes. And if he's not one after God's own heart, he's going to cheat on me with a nurse or something.
Can you imagine?
It's crazy.
you
Everyone knows that
imagine?
about doctors, though.
Is it?
It's a thing.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, because they work so long and they're always in hospital, they tend to be with each other. That's why they tend to marry each other. His wife is going to be on here in TDA chatting shit. And then he's going to be out there saving lives.
Good morning, Saleh.
Oh, dear. Morning, Saleh.
Morning, Teddy Tibbs, Crucial J, SLM86, Ray Reynolds, and Hermelin Zola. Good morning, E Peeps TV, and international expert. Oh, that's about. You're an expert.
How you ask? That's what that's about.
Hi Brent, I've been watching in the afternoon. I've got builders back at mine. Cool.
Who's that?
Cool. Mercy.
Oh, we got Mercy.
Yeah. All right. So before we start, I have a quick announcement to make. One of our resident day oneers is having a fantastic event for Women's International Week.
Day. Oh, I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing month. I'm hearing day. I'm hearing week now.
Yeah.
But what is it?
I like to make it a month, but you know.
Let's keep it a day.
Wow.
Sorry.
Sorry. Say that again?
He said, let's keep it. He said, let's keep it a day.
Wow.
All right, he gets a day.
I'm joking, man.
Oh, okay. It's funny how all these jokes of yours. Keep going.
All right. The tickets,
sweet.
there are only 5 left. So please get to purchasing. The link is now being posted.
That's my mum. Why you got my mum on the screen for, bro?
That's what I said.
Hey, mind what you're doing, bro.
That's what I said, go along
Sorry,
with it.
let me see if
said,
it's
"Let me
what you're
land."
talking.
He said,
Say,
"Mom,
what
let
you
me
doing
land."
with my mother? Mind
He
yourself.
said, man, what you do, man?
All right, it's going to be absolutely
That's funny.
amazing. As you've just heard from the Pum Pum father,
And big up
his
auntie.
mother is going to be one of the panelists. So that means that Marks is going to be in attendance, looking after her. And my mother.
You might have Achilles show up to our International Women's Day. Like, gosh, man.
So make sure you'll get the last 5 tickets. It will be going quick. I mean, just pin that for a second. Pin. Replace pin message.
Whose event is this, by the way? Can you not say?
It is Gin and Gists.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you just cackling like that was me.
What other information have
Crazy.
we got here? All right. It's Blacklisted Book Club.
Is he?
The Blacklisted Book Club are hosting another fantastic event with some amazing authors.
Nice.
Tomorrow at Tower Bridge. Dun, dun, dun.
Ba-ba-bam.
It's gonna be amazing.
Wonderful.
I might even have to turn up, to be honest. This looks like a good lineup.
It does.
Very good lineup.
Sounds lit.
Jeez. What? Darling.
Love it, love it, love it.
I've said enough. All right. Sorry, Esther.
It's all right. Yeah, never have to apologize. So we've got a comment from Curtis. I do feel away, Curtis, because the last 2 comments have been about me. So I just feel like, okay.
But has he pulled it back? Because it was love bombing.
Say again?
Has he pulled it back? Has he?
No, this is for E-Man. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't even appear in this. And I'm just like,
Goddamn.
that's how you men will let you down.
Goddamn. He had one job.
One job,
You
Curtis.
told him one more.
Every morning, let me come in here and see
No,
that you love
please.
me. That's all I ask.
That's all you are.
This is for E-Man anyway. Question for E-Man. Big up Curtis Jackson. Question for E-Man. What does he define as power as it pertains to Africa? Because we know DR Congo are the richest in natural resources in the world. How would Nigeria be the most powerful country in Africa?
I'll define it as the ability to make your influence that is the reality of somebody else's future, for example. So let's just say, for instance, Nigeria had the influence within ECOWAS, for example, to be able to put in certain policies that could change the future of everybody in the West African bloc. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. And I guess that power would come from resources. You know what I'm saying? It would come from resources, people looking up to you and things of that nature. When I say people, other nations looking up to you, because you have that sway. And again, like I always say, everything comes back to economics. So yeah, I'm just sure if that answers the question. What's the other question? Is it like 2 or 3 in there?
Yes, so what does he define as power as it pertains to Africa? We know DR Congo are the richest in natural resources in the world. How would Nigeria be the most powerful country in Africa?
Yeah. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Because there's so much instability in DR Congo, that's the reason why that power isn't realized. You know what I'm saying? So you need to have the ability to influence a particular situation, to act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To enact some sort of force on a particular thing and change its reality. And DR Congo doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I guess they lack the power. But if everything was as it should be, then most definitely they'll be up there with Nigeria as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, Curtis, I hope that answers your question. Let's get into our headlines, please.
All right. So our first headline today, Jeremy Hunt. For those who don't know, the Chancellor of this country. He's obviously released his budget, by the way. But yes, he's announced £1 million plans for Muslims who died in the First and Second World Wars in his budget. The Chancellor said it would honour those Muslims lost in the service of freedom and democracy. As he began his budget speech on Wednesday, Mr. Hunt vowed that past sacrifices made by those who lost their lives, no matter their faith, colour or class, would not be forgotten. Mr. Hunt told the Commons, as we mourn the tragic loss of life in Israel and Gaza, the Prime Minister reminded us last week of the need to fight extremism and heal divisions. So I start today by remembering the Muslims who died in 2 world wars in the service of freedom and democracy. We need a memorial to honour them. So following representations from the Right Honourable Member of Bromsgrove, Sajid Javid, and others, I've decided to allocate £1 million towards the cost of building one. Whatever your faith or colour or class, this country will never forget the sacrifices made for our future. Next headline, and a £230 million plan to speed up police response times announced in the budget could see drones used as first responders to major incidents. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt said on Wednesday the technology must be deployed where appropriate. As part of the Treasury reforms, police will use drones to assess incidents such as traffic collisions. Live video and information will be fed back to control rooms to help forces decide the seriousness and resources required to deal with it. Drone units often assist police divers in operations to find missing people believed to have fallen into the water. The Met Police use them to monitor pro-Palestine supporters marching in central London, calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. So that's what they're currently used for. But the funding may see other changes to emergency services, including allowing victims to report crimes by video call and AI to cut admin scan times by a third. AI will be used on the 101 non-emergency service to triage callers. And our last headline, 5 members of the British Special Forces are being investigated for committing suspected war crimes during the operations in Syria. The serving SAS, Special Air Service soldiers, were arrested by the British military police and being investigated for allegedly shooting dead a suspected militant 2 years ago. Top officials alleged that the troops used excessive force and should have arrested the suspected militant instead. A prime suicide vest was reportedly found nearby, but the suspect was not wearing it at the time of the shooting. The soldiers maintained that the man posed a threat and intended to carry out a suicide attack. The elite forces have been actively deployed in Syria and Iraq for over a decade to fight against ISIS, the terrorist group. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into what you're saying topic of the day.
All right, so today, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a simple one, straight to the point. I think it's very interesting though and informative, but also wanted to bring this forward because I feel like it can kind of bring everything full circle as it pertains to the discussions that we were having about language, culture, and those things that kind of, I don't know, maybe act as an adhesive for the different people that are part of a particular culture or community. And this was actually sent to me maybe a few weeks ago by Christy, so big up Christy. And it's just an interesting fact about a particular tribe in Nigeria. So Ben, if you don't mind, play that clip, please. And then I guess I want to ask you guys the question of how important is language really? Because I remember Esther, you said one of your first things was important in the community is that people speak that language. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to assess this and tell me what you think.
Yeah. If it's a white person speaking in Yoruba,
no, not at all. You know I'll never promote that
day
rubbish.
I'm trying to have. In the state.
Do you know that there's a tribe in Nigeria where the men and women speak a different language? In the Uban community of Obudu local government area in Cross River State, tradition forbids men from speaking the same language as women. The men have a language they call Ofe, while the women speak Araseke. The community believes that both languages were given by God and neither of the languages is considered superior to the other. Children initially learn Araseke, the women's language, and when they reach the age of 10, the boys undergo a cultural transition and begin to speak Ofe. This creates a distinct separation in communication with everyday objects having different names in each language. Any man who speaks the female language is considered abnormal, and the same goes for females as well. Husbands and wives are forbidden from speaking the same language, and parents must find a way to communicate with their children of the opposite gender. Despite the difference in language, the community has remained one of the most peaceful in the state, promoting communal living. What do you think about this unique cultural practice?
There you go.
I feel like cool.
So yeah, I was just thinking about it and thinking, what happened?
Why Kizzy Tiff had me on International Women's Week. Go on.
You know I'm allergic to foolishness.
Why is that foolishness? That's their culture.
Yeah, but
You uncultured swine. Why is that foolishness?
what purpose do you believe that serves?
that's their culture. It's not for me to find out what the purpose is.
No, we've established that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why do you think they do it?
Because it's their culture. It's a tradition. Because obviously they think that men and women have like different life paths or whatever. The fact that they raise all of them speaking this language, and when they get to 10, the boys have to then undergo this whole transitional thing of being a man and da-da-da-da-da-da. It must be relevant to what they do over there. I think it's a great way to pass secrets along. Should we want to do a revolution? That's the first thing I thought. Should we want to take over the town, ladies? We know exactly how to do it.
But the men understand it. They remember from young.
Yeah, the men from young, yeah.
And the women never learn it. So the men can understand the women talking.
That's when I think, but yeah, you're right.
And the women never learn.
You're on the women's side.
Huh?
You're on the women's side. Because just saying that...
I'm a feminist.
Oh,
Anyway.
shut up. Close it up. Yeah, actually. I didn't think of that.
You think of what?
The men can understand it.
The men understand what the women are saying, but the women don't understand what the men are saying. Oh,
No, they must do.
They don't.
All the kids learn it. Every kid learns it up until
the
10.
women's language.
And up until 10, the men start learning a different language, and
Yeah.
the women don't. The women stay with a other language.
The same language.
I'm guessing if you're
It's
around it
another way
enough,
to
you'd
get
be able
women,
to.
man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that both of them can understand each other.
No,
'Cause
they
remember,
wouldn't.
they both can't use each other's language.
Nah, because if we grow up, if all of us in this room were raised on English, but then in this tribe, in this room, English is what women speak and French is what men speak. But from the age of 10, you guys speak French.
Yeah, the
You
women
would
are
already
screwed.
remember English.
'Cause
Well, I don't understand French at all, but you still understand English.
Even if I can't speak it, I would remember enough to understand when I'm
What
hearing
saying,
it.
Yeah.
But so, what about the daughters and the mothers? What are they going to be speaking?
The same
The
language
same
that you
language.
can... yeah.
No, but they'll be speaking to themselves, though, innit?
Yes, but the thing is, what we're saying is that the men understand both languages that's spoken in the town, but the women only understand one.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. I struggle to believe that could be the case.
How can you struggle to believe that's the case when they just sort of...
No. What I'm saying is that is obviously the reality what they carry out. But what I'm saying, I struggle to believe that the women can't understand the men, because if you're in the household, the men and women are interacting.
No, but if you go to Paris right now,
Yeah.
do you speak French?
No,
Do you understand French?
no.
So if you go to Paris right now, yeah, and you're in a restaurant with all these French people, are you going to understand from being in a room with French people?
No, but I'm just visiting. You know what I'm saying? If I lived amongst them,
Yeah, but even if you lived amongst them, unless you start to ask them, what does this word mean? Unless you actively try to understand what the word is, you're not going to understand things. You might understand merci, because that's thank you, because you clock that when everyone says something, they say thank you, okay.
And if they're prohibited from speaking a language, like they're never going to learn
Exactly,
it.
they're never
innit?
going to learn it. Because the men go away to learn these languages separately. How will they ever understand?
Okay, I hear you. I just feel like language. I guess the main thing here is because what you said about them being prohibited to speak it. But I guess for me, language isn't something that is necessarily like you have to actively teach somebody. You just pick it up because
Language?
out of necessity, you have to. Yeah, if you live amongst the people, you're not taught it. You learn it. You pick it up, innit?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you speak Yoruba?
What? Why? Not as good as I would like to. But that's the reason, because I haven't been around it like that.
Can
If
you
I was
speak
back
Tree?
home, not as good as I would like to.
Okay, so I'm done. I'm not doing this. All the
Why?
language you're saying you've been around, and
Yeah.
you should be able to speak because you're around it. You don't
No,
know
but the
how to
only
speak them.
reason is because of my personal circumstance of me being in certain areas
But you
for
grew
a
up in
certain
Ghana.
amount of time. Yeah, spend a certain amount of time there.
Exactly, so you should be able to.
Yeah, but not.
Yeah, but wait. So
I
when you were
could speak it a lot better back then. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But again, which kind of goes to your point. Me being here, my parents don't necessarily speak Tree. They speak it only when Ghanaian people come to the house, for example. So if it
because
was
your parents are Ghanaian too. No, you're Ghanaian through and through.
where do you think I got it from?
That is not an example. You should have. I just want you're Ghanaian because you lived in Ghana.
No,
I
they
think
were
your parents-
born there, innit? Yeah.
Nah, your whole generation's Ghanaian.
No, we're ethnically white, innit?
I'm shocked. Ain't auntie and uncle included in this?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Yeah, why are they just gonna send me there for no reason?
I don't know you like a Mr. Easy. You just lived there. I didn't know your parents lived there too and were born there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Ghanaian.
We got communities, there's like Yoruba communities in Ghana, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're Yoruba.
What's
You're
the
Ghanaian.
difference? Anyway,
interesting.
the point I'm trying to say is,
Do you think he's more Ghanaian than Nigerian?
Of course he is. 100%.
how? In my house,
I
if you
mean, when
went
I
to-
met you, I thought you were Ghanaian. You look Ghanaian. For one. But, yeah, I'm shocked by this.
See,
Oh,
I don't know.
mine is
I don't have
blown.
the information because I'm of the understanding that this is a Yoruba man.
Yeah, you're a phony. That's why. You know.
That's why I am ethnically, innit? 100%. If you go to my house, it's just a Yoruba household.
No, because
You would never know any different.
No, because you just said. Because the example you gave was not my parents don't speak Yoruba when there's Yoruba people around. You said they speak Tree, which is Ghanaian language.
Yeah.
When there's Ghanaian, like
Because
Ghana
they
is what
speak
you drew
Yoruba.
for.
So is
No,
this like
because they speak
cultural
Yoruba all the
appropriation or
time.
something?
I don't know, something.
No, it's because
Have my finger on what it is. Yeah.
it's because they only speak Yoruba. That's what I'm saying. They only speak Yoruba. So they only speak the tree that they need to when somebody
As and
else
when
comes.
needed.
Yeah.
Okay, so as they speak only Yoruba, did you were you able to
Well,
speak Yoruba when you
it's-
were living with them?
But at the same time, because they're more, how do I say this? They're not as fresh, right?
yeah,
Because
that's
obviously,
wild. That's not how you say it. that's not how you say it.
no, the reason why
Just
I'm
say they
saying
don't
that,
speak. They speak English.
no, yeah, they speak a lot of English because obviously they were brought up in Ghana as well. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
won't necessarily just be speaking Yoruba all the time. They'll speak English as well. So remember, like when you speak like 3-4 languages, you're just going to be going
That's
in
where, yeah,
between.
you go
You
to
know
the
what I'm
place.
saying?
It's
So
interesting,
that's-
but I feel like language is not something that you can pick up because even like scientists, researchers found that there's a certain age. That's why it's great to teach your kids different languages when they're young because that's when their brain is able to absorb them. That's why, like, if you teach a kid 5 languages when they're young, chances are they're going to grow up understanding those 5 languages, and it's harder for adults to learn new languages.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. So I feel like with that community, I don't think it's going to be easy for the women to just pick up just based on hearing it. Because again, if you don't understand what's being said, like my little sister, for example, she's a good example. We speak Yoruba a lot at home. Me, my mum, my brother, like we speak Yoruba all the time. She can understand the gist of what you're saying, but she can't speak the language, even though she's been around it, and even though she's at an age where essentially her brain would be able to absorb it. Do you get what I mean? But she can kind of decipher, like, okay, you're telling me this is what you're talking about, this is what you're trying to say, kind of thing. I think it's tricky to pick up languages like that.
But I think it's also because, again, this goes to you guys' point. Unless the person is kind of forced to speak it backwards, it's hard for you to pick it up to the full extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be immersed in it.
This is it. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause I think, and I don't think it matters what age you are. I think within a couple of years you can learn the language.
Actually, yeah, 'cause my cousin, no, but he's intentional about it. 'Cause my cousin lives in China.
Exactly. You have to.
Yeah, but he
And
has
he
to. Ain't got no choice.
speaks Chinese, but he's had to learn it.
I bought my
It's not a thing
brethren in
where he was just-
Barcelona.
Say again?
I bought my brethren in Barcelona and he was just talking Spanish. I said, when you talk Spanish, he's like, I live here now. I ain't got no choice.
But then don't you think that he would have had to make efforts to learn it? And it's not just because I don't think that you can just pick something up fluently just because you're around it.
Oh, I get what you're saying. He would
Do
have
you
to
know what I mean?
take classes
You have to be
and stuff.
intentional. You have to you would have to be intentional about learning more than just what you're around. Because how will you know how to construct sentences? How would you know understand tenses, understand all that kind of stuff?
I have
You
to ask
wouldn't-
him. I don't know. But he said
Yeah.
he said it took 2 years, basically.
See?
That
Yeah.
it took him 2 years to be able to speak fluent, basically.
Because there's people that are foreign and stuff that live in this country and all they're speaking is English, yet they speak broken English.
No, but our version of sometimes we call it broken because sometimes it's got accent. But some of these people, I don't think they realize how good their English are though. Like because it's got accent with it, you think you're moving like it's not. But their English is sensational. Like they talking.
I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the people who broken English.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about you telling me something in the present, but you're using past tense. That's
And
broken.
she and he,
That's it. Whatever the spirit leads, that's what I'm talking about. But the people that speak it more fluently, they've been intentional about learning it that way. Yeah,
That is true.
English is broken. But I come from a country with broken English as well, so vigilant that.
But yeah, man. But okay. Let's just say they obviously kind of understand each other in some sort of way, right? Because I don't know how you live in the same house, you can't communicate and stuff, right? But either way, unless are they communicating through the kid?
That's
they just said
young
that the
boys.
parents have to find a way to communicate with their kids opposite.
No, but like parents communicating with each other. How do they
So
do
the
that?
kid is a translator. But the kid will be translating in the woman's language still. They should just let the men just learn. What are we doing? This is actually silly now. Because yeah, that's true. How would the husband and wife communicate with each other?
This is why I said I find it hard to believe that that the woman can't understand.
But unless he's slow, he should remember the woman's language.
There's different forms of communication as well, though, isn't it? So maybe they're practicing.
Doing hand signs in the house.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
They just find ways to work it out without actually using dialect.
Or maybe there's like a third language, a universal language.
Maybe.
That's so
that could be
confusing.
it.
That's lit though. I can't even lie to you. Just for the confusion and the dramatics of it all.
There must be
get
certain
me?
things that they're carrying on in those languages.
That
Or-
must, yeah.
that's so important, integral to their culture. That obviously we just don't know.
How
Or
do
it's
they pillow
symbolic
talk?
of something. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they don't.
I told you it's
Maybe
foolishness.
the pillow talk is teaching each other's languages without the community leaders knowing.
I guess we are all projecting our habits and behavioral patterns onto them, and it's confusing for us. Maybe they don't be talking about anything that pertains to them until it's needed, and they then try to communicate. For example, feeding the children, or the man telling the woman that the child is hungry. It might just be that.
But then how do you? What about how do you sit
They
down?
mind their business.
So they don't get to know each other.
They might. That's why they're peaceful. But that's what the guy was saying. One of the most peaceful.
I can imagine that. I can honestly imagine how peaceful that is.
Okay, they don't get to know each other.
Yeah, you shut up, I shut up, everyone's great.
The man could be cheating left, right, and center.
She wouldn't know a thing.
Precisely.
Actually, she wouldn't know a thing.
But she'll be doing her own thing.
There you go.
How would you even cheat? Can't speak the language.
Wait. Sorry. What?
I'm sure there's a way to convey that message.
A man who can't speak the same language as another woman, how did he partake in
Because you're
infidelity?
projecting how you would do it onto them. It might just be a thing of.
That's
it.
Me,
Yes.
you. No.
That is it.
I mean, couldn't brainstorm, spitball, whatever it's called. Throw something at the wall, see what sticks. What's the not even purpose? Never say benefit, but purpose though
I'm speaking different
of
languages.
this setup. Like, what's the? Give me.
The men stick with the men stuff, and then the women stick with the women stuff. They get on with their business, whatever duties they have, and they can collaborate and this, that, and the next without having to basically, quote unquote, bother the man or vice versa. It sounds like primitive, but I guess you guys keep on saying primitive used to work.
Okay.
What's
That's
primitive?
basically what I'm thinking.
What's
Like,
primitive?
Back in the day,
Old.
like traditional stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's done us a lot good.
that's basically one thing. I think it's almost like an evolutionary thing to kind of draw a line in the sand for everyone to remember that we are different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It might be beneficial today. You know what I'm saying? Difference between men and difference between women.
If we speak different languages, you're all finished. You're all be finished completely.
Well, you
Are
act
you
like we
sure?
speak a different language
100%.
anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? That they act like we speak a different language anyway. The communications.
No, y'all act like that. It's very simple. A woman tells you, "Hi, I want A." You still do B and say, "I didn't understand what you mean by A." Very simple. But
That
no,
is
if we
not
would,
true.
women are more able to come together and make things happen. That's why the statistics of women excelling is higher than men excelling. So if we were in a position where we spoke different languages, you are finished, absolutely finished. Oof.
But you see how it's
That's
still
so
a
funny.
There you go. You guys thought it was funny when you thought the men would be taking over. Now I've let you know the reality of it.
No, it's funny.
I want to suck up to me, y'all.
'cause-
I might let the women give you a good time. Sorry, Brent, what you saying?
What were you gonna say?
He's gonna say it's funny because what?
That's all right.
That's all right.
I'm on Ethel's side.
No. It's all right. You can say whatever you want to say.
It's still a patriarchal system, because as you all correctly said before, the men will still be able to understand what kind of
Yeah.
comings and goings the women are doing, because they can still understand, because they learned that language
Yeah, when they're
they
younger.
were younger. So it's still
It's just like
still
a
serves
different.
the man.
It's a remix. It's a remix of patriarchy. Don't let the West see that.
But it shows the man's strength, because he would still hear what she's saying, understand what she's saying, and still
I have to not react.
know the hell out of
Why can't it also be a thing out of necessity? Like, for example, I don't know, the man's protecting, or the men are protecting that particular community. There's danger coming. And then he speaks in a language that everyone can understand. It doesn't have to be, oh, I know this language so I can subjugate you, but more so I can communicate you to help
See
you
what
to
he did
save.
there? See what he did there?
What happened?
See
Do you get what I'm
he did
saying
there?
though?
Of course,
Like,
I
why
know.
does it have to be a
Of
negative?
course. Carry on. Don't you know you're not thirsty. Just put your drink down. Carry on your sentences. Finish your thoughts.
What did I do?
That's all right.
No, it's a good
It's a good way to think. But
Say
unfortunately,
another one. You've got more.
It's another way to think. But what's it called? Research and results would quickly prove that otherwise.
No, but we don't know that.
Now I'm just talking about what society is like at the moment.
Oh yeah,
I'm
100%.
talking about how the system society has been built on. It would be difficult for anybody to believe that, well, for a woman to believe that could be for her best interests.
I hear you, but I think obviously we have to look at different cultures. Remember, this culture is very different to all the other cultures that we're kind of familiar with. So I'm just saying, amongst these people, it could be far more effective. And also, do you feel like, all of our 5 senses or whatever, if one of those senses, go kaput, right? Like, some of the other senses are more enhanced, isn't it? Could this be something that makes them far better at communicating using other ways? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't speak the same language, we put more effort in other things to make sure that, that glue is there between us. You know what I'm saying? And that's, yeah, basically.
I think they'll have their strengths in terms of like their intelligence and stuff like that. I think doing something like that would have enhanced other skills in them that maybe other people from other societies wouldn't have had that, that enhancement really.
And I guess the other thing I was going to mention is, obviously, back to what Usa said, the question he posed the other day about, languages, and if we had maybe less languages, Africa could better unify, perhaps, right? In a situation like this, I guess it would kind of contradict that, but also allow for people, because we kind of understand that, we all speak different languages. Yeah. Maybe we just focus on the things that we have in common. Basically, that's what I'm basically getting at. So imagine us in the UK, Black British, we all come from different backgrounds, Ghana, Jamaica, Trinidad, Nigeria, this, that, and the third, right? Cool. But instead of trying to learn each other's languages and all of them and everyone being confused by this, that, and the third, all we focus on is just the commonalities. Then, like, you would never kind of focus on the division because you kind of just understand you are divided on this particular issue, and forever will be. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, I don't know, maybe that's a lesson that we can kind of use. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously a lot of the time we get focused on the divisions. Language barriers, religious barriers. But if we just understood that, okay, cool, those will never change. This is what we should focus on. It'll probably help us better gatekeep as well.
It would be interesting to know. Sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, it would be interesting to know like how the community actually functions.
Let me tell you.
Oh, thank you.
Because what that man omitted is that there's a joint language that both of them use and understand. And I've just Gemini'd this River State tribe. And the community has a long history of cultural identity, distinct from other tribes in the region. Both men and women speak a dialect of Ubang, a Bendi language within the Niger-Congo language family. However, they use distinct vocabulary and grammatical structures. Despite the differences, both men and women understand each other's language to a certain extent.
Oh, nice.
So this man just wants to go viral for no reason.
Yeah, but you kind of just said it there. They kind of understand each other's languages to a certain extent.
That makes it worse, actually.
What? Which one?
That makes it worse. If there's a universal language and the men can understand the woman's language, so it's just a language that the women just don't understand.
Yeah.
For the sake of it.
No, but that's what this is what I was saying earlier. I feel like it might be symbolic of something else. There's better rituals that we kind of carry on today that is only symbolic. You know what I'm saying? But back then, it was attached to a real meaning. You know what I'm saying? But we no longer obviously live the same way, so the meaning is kind of gone, but the ritual's still there. You know what I'm saying? And if sometimes we focus on the ritual, then it's like, okay, cool, I understand the meaning, and this makes sense.
What's your new bard called? Is it Gordon or something like that?
Gordon, you know.
What's your new bard called?
Gemini.
Gemini?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, so black. I'll be able to ask him what he thinks, like what?
It's a her.
It's a she?
Yes.
Oh, pick up her.
I keep putting things in it.
You made me sick. You made me so sick.
It can't be a man.
You make me sick.
So,
Anyway,
it could be a man for whoever wants it to be a man. For me, it's a woman.
whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, can you ask her, please? I guess maybe the significance of having the languages, like what the point was or why they have that.
Okay.
You call the girl Gemini. Is Gemini a girl's name?
It could be
Oh, it's a
whatever.
star sign,
Yeah, it's a star sign, definitely.
isn't it? Yeah. That's so cool though. I like what's it called? Communities like that. That operate outside of the norm. I love to live in a place like that. My only situation is always just the toilet situation. I'm not getting in a hole in the ground. Ew.
Is it that bad?
I'm a germaphobe. I like comforts. It's like I'm going camping. I'm a comforts babe. That's not comfortable. So Brent.
The exact purpose of the different languages spoken by men and women among the Ubang people is not fully understood, but there are several possible explanations. One, social cohesion and cultural identity. The distinct languages may have served to strengthen social bonds within each gender group by creating a shared sense of identity and in-group solidarity. This could have been particularly important for women who may have faced different social pressures and roles within the community. Additionally, the male and female languages might have functioned as markers of cultural identity and helped maintain the unique traditions and practices of the Ubang people. Practical reasons: historically, men and women in the Ubang community may have had distinct roles and responsibilities that required them to communicate about specific topics and activities. The different languages could have facilitated the specialized communication and ensured clarity within each group. For example, men might have used their language to discuss hunting strategies or rituals, while women's language could have been used for tasks related to child rearing or domestic work. There's symbolic and ritual functions, and there's
What's so secretive about that though?
the language variations may have had symbolic or ritual significance within it. For instance, the female language might have been used in specific ceremonies or rituals exclusive to women, while the male language could have been employed in leadership discussions. It's crazy. Or warfare strategy.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? Is when you said about the women's one, yeah, that's exactly where my mind went. I thought, I'm probably just teaching them how to be better women to
That's
men.
why I switched to Kabate Manual.
And then you said leadership, and I
thought you
said
were
that. See, case in point.
But he didn't. He kept
No,
composure.
yeah, because he knows that if should women be in charge, he might be the first to get got.
I want Esther's side.
That's so interesting, man. That's actually they just got a new way of patriarchy. It's just a remix version.
He said new way though. They've kept
No,
it
because-
the same.
No. It's a new way in that the country here didn't think to give men a different language. Well, unless you count misogyny as a language, but do you get me in there? So it's like actually it's not a new way. It's just a revised edition. Interesting. We got the women there though, and the men there. And the hunting strategies. That's so secretive.
All right, guys. We can wrap it up there.
Love it. All right, let's get into our next headlines. Glee Club.
All right. So our next headline: the U.S. is reported to have made more than 100 weapons sales to Israel, including thousands of bombs since the start of the war in Gaza. But the deliveries escaped congressional oversight because each transaction was under the dollar amount required for approval. So the Biden administration has kept up a quiet but substantial flow of munitions to help replace the tens of thousands of bombs Israel has dropped on the tiny coastal strip, making it one of the most intense bombing campaigns in military history. The Washington Post reported that the administration officials informed Congress of the 100 foreign military sales to Israel in a classified briefing. Few details are known of the sales because keeping each one small meant that their contents remained secret, but they're reported to have included precision-guided munitions, small diameter bombs, bunker busters, small arms, and other lethal aid. Next headline takes us to Rwanda, man, where peers have inflicted further heavy defeats against Rishi Sunak's proposed Rwanda asylum. Bill, I guess, because basically the Archbishop of Canterbury was told that he needs to check his white privilege. They hotted him up. The House of Lords backed a 278 votes to 189, majority 89, and moved to overturn the government plan to oust the courts from the process. Speaking during the debate, the Tory former cabinet minister, Lord Lilly, told the upper chamber that there is a precedent for Parliament to declare certain countries as safe. Addressing Mr. Welby, who has been scathing of the bill, the Conservative peer said, "What's the difference? The first is that in those days the lists were all white countries. Now we're dealing with a black country. And I just warn him that he better check his white privilege and his colonial assumptions, or he might find himself in trouble with some of the bishops." The Labour frontbencher Lord Coker said that, Lord Coker said that the courts are there to ensure justice is done. And I think justice in this case does require the ability for the law, as it impacts on an individual, to be tested in the courts. And our last headline, Arsenal fans. Brent, what's going on with Arsenal, man? Arsenal have been criticised for failing to stop a pro-Palestine rally after Jewish fans said that they had felt intimidated into walking away before the Women's Super League game against Tottenham last Sunday. One supporter who regularly attends women's matches spoke of feeling betrayed by Arsenal after seeing the anti-Israel demonstration outside of the Emirates Stadium. The fan decided to leave without entering the ground. It's understood about 20 supporters chose not to go in because of the demonstration, which was sparked by Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza. In a statement, Arsenal said, "The safety of all supporters attending our matches is our top priority. Prior to Sunday's fixture, we worked with the Met Police to ensure that there was a plan in place to keep the impact of any demonstration to a minimum. The gathering took place in a public space outside Emirates Stadium, and it's not within our jurisdiction to stop protests taking place in public spaces. Instances where prohibited items were identified inside the stadium were dealt with swiftly by our stewards." And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into Word on Road. In the pod.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't watch it. I only ever watched the first one. I watched the first one, and then after that, I just didn't care enough.
Is it like reality TV?
It is reality
like
TV.
dating and stuff.
Yeah.
So, D5,
Yeah.
DE5 in the Discord
Yeah.
said, "Just finished watching it. I felt more emotion in this episode than I did watching the whole of one day. No spoilers, but the day after, please watch at least the last 2 episodes of season 6 and get the team to review." And I just laughed at that comment.
Why'd you laugh at?
I'm not watching Love Is Blind. It's reality TV.
Yeah, neither am I. I don't watch stuff like that.
But I don't watch reality TV. Do you guys watch reality TV? You'll watch reality TV, so maybe you'll go watch Love Is Blind.
I ain't watching it.
Good.
I don't watch reality TV.
How about you? You're going to watch the last 2
I watch
episodes?
reality TV, but I don't care about
Love.
love.
Love is not blind. So there's that. And if I feel like the first one was a genuine one because they didn't know what it was, and then everybody else, other seasons, they found that people are like, people have girlfriends, some people are even engaged, some people have left
Ain't that
their
couple still together though? The black man and the white woman and the black man.
Yeah, Lauren and Cameron. They're
white
the
man
only real
and
ones.
The black woman.
Black woman, white guy.
Yeah.
Lauren and Cameron. They're the only ones that actually make sense. And do you remember, did you watch the first one?
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy called Barrett or something like that? He was tall and his girl was in so much debt. I feel like if you see them, you might recognize them. They're together as well. The broke girl, yeah, she's
She
broke.
had like the brunette girl.
Yes.
She was cool, but she was broke.
They're still together as well. I think they're the only two. So the first one made sense because people didn't know what they were going into. Since then, kind of like Love Island, people know that they can get clout off it. So there was one of the guys I saw from this season.
Oh yeah, no, he was pissed because when he went back to the homegirl's yard, he was like, "Oh, she broke,
broke. She was not joking, but she was very just. She let him know because I think one of the guys from this season, I've been seeing stuff about his girlfriend was aware that he was going in there. It was just dumb, man. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Discorder.
The first one, and the other one with the black man who's
She was
who's
quoting
gay,
Beyonce.
But he's really he's bisexual.
Yeah. And then she quoted Beyonce. She's like, "You can watch my ass. You can what's Beyonce? You can watch my ass, Swiss boy, as that bounce to the neck." I said, I would have throw up.
The first one was quality. Yeah,
First one was quality. I'm never gonna lie to you. First one was was good vibes because it was the first time. Now, I'm not interested, man.
All right, so if anybody who has watched it wants to leave a voice note or to call in and give the review, then please, you are more than welcome.
Or Actually, I'm saying.
I think I started watching one day. That's with the Indian gal, isn't it?
Yeah, one day's good.
I watched one episode, 2 maybe.
And that was it.
Mm.
How long ago was this? 2 weeks ago? Can we tell you about this like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, when you told me a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, not one day.
I need to go watch 3 or 4.
Like 8 episodes.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes in there, Brent. One day.
I don't know. Maybe it's 10.
I feel like it's more than that. It looked like it was quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a good show as well. I like stuff like that. But yeah, Love is Blind. I'm sorry, I don't have the time to give to that. They can have a conversation on Discord though.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watched it, you can have a
But they
conversation on
are
Discord.
having a
Because how are we going to go and watch
conversation.
episodes
Yeah, but you said
5
just
and
calling
6?
for a
Because
review.
if we don't watch episodes 1, 2, and 3, and 4, we're not really going to feel connected
That's
to the
the thing.
characters. So we're not
I'm
going
not going to feel the emotions you felt.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like couples are given a couple episodes to their story and whatever.
No.
whatever. It's just
So-
a continuation from whatever.
Yeah, so basically the first few episodes, you see them, they're in a pod, you see them talking to different people, then you see them connecting to different people, then now they have to make a decision of, out of all the people I've connected with, who am I going to go for? I know one of the girls said she looked like Megan Fox. Okay. So, basically, so you see that, and then they meet each other, and then after that, they go on like a holiday to see what they're like when they're living together, blah, blah, blah.
Honeymoon.
Then after that, they then go and live together. Then after that, they have the wedding. So you have a show up, don't show
Get
up.
married?
Yes!
Yeah.
The whole point of the show is to get married.
Yeah, but
It's
then you
Love
don't
Blind.
have to go through with
You
it.
don't have to go through with it, but,
Because on the wedding
but that's
day,
the end goal.
like the aim is to get married, they're getting married, but then on the wedding day, some of them be like,
No.
nah, I can't do this.
Okay.
But Lauren and Cameron did, and they're still together. They're such a beautiful couple together.
okay.
They're so lovely.
okay.
Is that better than Married at First? It's not better than Married at First Sight, is it?
I've never watched Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight is decent.
But Married at First Sight, like I've just seen you today, I've met you today, we're marrying.
Yeah, they walk, they see each other, they walk and that.
And they say
when
yes.
No, but did we talk before?
No, they don't see each other. You like say that you're the groom, you come, you walk down, it's your bride, boom, married.
No,
and
but
then
did
you
we
go
talk
off and
before?
live. No, you
So-
talk. Your first conversation is after you say I do,
you must be
this is
sick.
there, and you don't go off and have the
Look what they've done to
honeymoon and all that.
God's law.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
Sorry.
And then they go through therapy and all that through the weeks and all that.
Wait a
It's
minute.
decent.
Wait a minute. Are you cool with this?
I mean, it depends, man. It depends on the culture if it works for them. I think coming from a like
No, it's not a
Western-
culture, it's a West.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
It ain't no culture.
coming from like obviously like the West and stuff, it's the wrong people to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna work. It's too much baggage brought into that situation. But I think in certain cultures where people it's fully arranged, it works. It's been worked for people for thousands of years.
No, but they at least know them though. Because in a culture, they will let you know that this is this person's son, this is the family, blah, 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 blah. And actually, arranged marriage, you actually get say. If you don't want to marry the person, you can say, I don't want to marry. There's another, I think forced marriage is where you have no choice but to. But
I
I love
think
the
when
culture,
you've been
people use them
in certain
interchangeably.
cultures when they've been betrothed like that, there's like the whole period where they start making them meet each
Yeah,
other a
they're
little bit
courts.
before.
Oh, wow.
It's not always. A lot of cultures, you're right. They definitely get them to get to know each other.
Yeah.
But the decision's made before they get to know each other. Like I remember.
No, but yeah,
speaking to one
they're
woman-
marrying each other,
is
so
what I'm
it doesn't
saying.
matter when they're having to
that's-
get to know each other. Period. If it don't go well, it don't go well.
But that's what I'm saying though. But there's two different ones. There's arranged marriage and there's forced marriage. Forced marriage, you're marrying the person regardless. Arranged marriage is that they're putting it together, but you get a say in this. I've listened to Indian people speak about this.
Okay.
And their culture. But at least with that one, like at least know, like I can't meet you at the altar and say I do or I don't. I bloody don't. Damn right I don't. But that's the thing. I'm out in episode 1. That's why I would say Love Is Blind is better then, because Love Like you at least get hours and hours and hours speaking to each other but not seeing each other.
And you choose, I guess.
Yeah, so
can
based on the
choose,
people,
yeah.
like the person you feel connection. But it's always funny because always like I love you.
From
shout
what
out.
I've seen, Married at
I don't know
First
what I
Sight
don't like.
seems better. There's bits where they're all at the dinner party and they're in the couples and
What? The wedding reception?
nah, it's like afterwards because remember they after they have their honeymoon, then they have to start living together, innit?
They go straight on honeymoon.
Yeah, they get married, they go and have their honeymoon, then they start living, together. But then I figured that'd be like once a week, like all the couples will link up at like a dinner
Oh,
party.
now
innit?
then you can let them know what's going on in your marriage, or whatever.
Yeah, next man's crying about next girl. I think it's
What, like he would rather had the other girl?
certain, but to certain
What?
people that form connections and thing and
No, but how did you, is this Love Is Blind or Married at First Sight?
Married at First Sight.
But how would you have formed a connection when you just got to the altar and this is your pick? This is who was picked for you.
For weeks and when they link up, it might have formed a connection with a different gal.
Oh, when in the couples link up. Oh, that's so cheeky.
It's a decent show, to be fair. I've only watched one, but it was alright.
I've actually heard a lot of things about it. I might give it a watch one of these days because I want to know how it works.
I think you might enjoy that still. It's alright.
I probably will. I might watch it actually.
Even Brent might enjoy it. I know he said he don't watch reality TV, but he seems intrigued.
No, I can't.
You just can't believe that this is where we're at as a people.
No, I don't judge y'all for watching it, to be honest. I just can't watch.
You can watch it at 1.5. You'd be fine.
No, it's not that. It's like people living their life. Can't be doing that.
Okay.
Can't do that. I can watch like non-fiction.
You can watch fake people living their life.
Yeah. Because it's a story. It's been conjured up.
Yeah, but if it's a good reality TV show, there's a story being told as well. It's conjured up.
No, sorry.
Produced.
I can't. Look, I'm just telling you what I can't do.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't explain it. It's just God put it on my heart not to do this. So I can't do it. So like Big Brother or on a month, I can't do it.
Well, I said I was going to watch that, didn't I, for Zizi. Oh, yikes, I forgot.
How's she doing?
I don't know, Brain, I forgot. Anyway. I don't know, I just can't, certain things I just can't commit to, man. I just think my day is long enough. Yeah, anyway. In Word on Road, because that's where we're at, Peter Gunz. So Peter Gunz, if anyone doesn't know Peter Gunz, he is from Love and Hip Hop. Obviously he's a music artist as well, he's a rapper. He's a rapper or a singer? He's a rapper, isn't it? But he was on Love and Hip Hop, and when he was on Love and Hip Hop, he was really there loving. So at the time, so basically he's got 2 kids. I think he's got 2 boys with Tara, a lady called Tara. Then he was managing artists, right? Then he started managing this girl, Mina Butterfly. I think she's from South Africa or something like that anyway. But basically he started managing her as an artist. Tara knew that was his artist and whatnot. Turns out he had married Amina in secret. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. It was a whole seasons and seasons of things. But he's like, and also there's like a whole thing of a creep squad on Love and Hip Hop. It was a whole thing, right, basically. But he gets a lot of flack because he is a serial cheater. Of all the men that have cheated, no man has ever cheated like this man before. It's ridiculous. Then obviously there was a time as well he became the host of the show Cheaters. And they put up on this guy. And the guy was like, wait a minute, ain't you Peter Gunz? And he was like, yeah. He's like, first of all, he's like, nigga, you cheat more than me. It was so funny. So Peter Gunz he doesn't really have the best PR. However, I always feel bad for him. And I'll tell you why I feel bad for him. It's trigger warning, right? Trigger warning. He was on a show called Marriage Boot Camp one time, and he was there. Who was he there with? He was there with Amina, but somehow Tara came in as well. It's a whole thing. But basically, as a kid, he was molested and abused and stuff, right? And I think that's really what's messed him up to the point where he doesn't know how to like be in relationships and deal with women and stuff like that. So I always feel like that because I do feel for sexual assault victims. So I started seeing him differently after that, after I found out about that and whatnot. And obviously I feel like with men as well, it's always difficult because somehow society in a way tries to normalize it because this idea of men love sex, but no, abuse is abuse. But anyway, so basically, sad, he lost his mum. He posted on Instagram and he said, she gave me life and all the love a son could ever ask for. Rest well, mummy, no more pain. Truly appreciate all the love and support. All the love, support and positive energy. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. To my family, my nieces and nephews in particular. Keep that bond going. I love how you stepped up, pulled together, laughed, cried and held each other down at this dark time. Words can't describe how much I love you. And he also lost his cousin, man. Same day. He lost his mum and his cousin on the same day. So pay tribute to his cousin as well. So love to Peter Gunz, man. Also, it's still on trigger warning. Trigger warning for the next 3 Word and Road, man, because people are wilding out here. There's an American Idol producer by the name of Nigel Lithgow, I believe his name is. But basically, he's received his 4th sexual assault lawsuit. One of them is from Paula Abdul, who was a judge on the show, and she filed hers in December. But he just denied that he just denied Paula Abdul's lawsuit, as in yesterday. And then not too long ago, shortly after that, someone else has filed. So essentially the filings are for sexual assault, sexual battery, sexual harassment, and also negligence. I'll keep an eye on all of that stuff and see how what happens with that. But it's not looking good, mate. Not at all. Still on this, trigger warning, sorry. Drake Bell, who was on the show Drake and Josh on Nickelodeon, is also claiming that he was abused by Brian Peck, who was a dialogue coach on, on Nickelodeon. So he worked on a show called All That and also The Amanda Show. Pick up Amanda Bynes, man. Nickelodeon did not do a great, like, the way some of these people that were child stars have turned out is just honestly so sad. But anyways, so he is alleging that he was abused by Brian Peck as well. So there's been a lot of conversations about Nickelodeon in the past few years. There's a documentary coming out on the 7th, I want to say 17th. I think it's the 17th of March. And it's called Quiet on Set. And essentially, it's an investigation discovery docuseries. It's got 4 episodes. And it's going to be going into the allegations of the toxic environment on Dan Schneider's show. So Dan Schneider is the man who's been accused multiple times by different adults who worked on shows in Nickelodeon when they were kids, of abuse at his hands. There was a whole thing about him. I talked about it last year, I think. I talked about it last year where basically he's got a foot fetish, and so in some of the shows he worked in his fetishes. Very weird, and and he was like doing stuff to some of the child actors, and it's horrible, very, very horrible. But basically, the documentary is gonna come out. I'm gonna watch it actually. It's called Quiet on Set, and it's gonna talk about all the toxicness and danger and all that stuff that surrounds Nickelodeon and all the children's shows at the time, from 1990s to the early 2000s, early 2000s. So that is from what the reports are saying, that's where Drake Bell was going to reveal more about his alleged abuse story. It's just very sad, man. Like, it's horrible. I was watching something else yesterday. I feel like my timeline now is like on a conspiracy thing. Oh, it was talking about the panda. Have you ever heard about Panda Eyes, Brent?
Panda Eyes?
Yeah.
What's that?
So Panda Eyes essentially is... Sorry, trigger warning, like serious trigger warning. So please just tune out if it's going to trigger you. But it's to do with like sodomy against children. So you know this whole thing about, since the whole Ryan Garcia thing, right, yesterday, there's been a lot of stuff coming out about some of these heads of people.
Yeah.
Oprah, her name is
all over it.
Hella stuff. Even in Drake and Josh, actually, apparently she's mentioned it in some way or fashion or whatever in every single episode for whatever reason. But anyways, so it's like people like Oprah, all these other like execs, these big people and whatever, who apparently are involved in like child trafficking and stuff like that. And essentially, Panda Eyes is what children get after they've been like abused. And it's like because of trauma, there's like circles around their eyes. And there was an interview that Orlando Brown does, because he moves the way he moves. Yeah. People kind of discount what he says. Yeah. But he had an interview, and he was basically saying that there was I can't remember what show he was on, but he had the circles in his eyes. And so what that person revealing, whatever was revealing how like panda is such a theme in Hollywood. Yeah. So like Ellen would have like panda in like her shows, like random pandas that will come out and get her guests to dress up as pandas. Yeah. So with that other guy, it's Jimmy Kimmel? One of the Kimmels, one of the Jimmys, one of those guys anyway. They would have pandas. So it was showing how like in kids shows as well, you have pandas on there. Like it's just panda. Also Lady Gaga as well. Apparently they're claiming that her situation is her situation as well. And they were saying that in that world, in that dark part of Hollywood, they've got like words. So I think if you like pepperoni pizza, then it's like you like boys. And if you like that, then it's like you like little girls. And Ellen is one of them as well. Obviously, the way sis moved out of the world. Yeah. Her situation. So it's very massive. They were saying how like it's like, you know, it's like subliminal messages, but it's like the people that are at the top and they know what they're doing. It's like they're playing in your face constantly. Yeah. It's mad.
Is that why that guy's song Panda went
Designer?
Yes.
Maybe because he's kind of left. He doesn't want to be part of the industry anymore. Designer's kind of like he's not really trying to be involved in stuff. Like it's just, I feel like I'm sure he had a whole conversation about. I'm sure he's talked about the darkness of music and stuff like that.
He didn't really have an identity anyway.
He didn't. We thought it was Future for the most part. I thought it was Future on that song. Everyone thought it was Future. But big up Designer. I think he's minding his business. But yeah, so apparently all that kind of stuff was them kind of playing. And when I think about with the Dan Schneider thing, where he had a foot fetish, and he had in iCarly had them making foot fetish jokes and talking about toes in the mouth and all that kind of stuff. It makes sense because it's like these are their dark twisted fantasies, and they get these kids to act it out and play it out, and they don't even know what it is that they're doing. But I'm gonna watch it because it sounds very, very interesting, and there's a lot of the child actors that are there, and just saying all the things. Even what's her name? She wrote a whole book. I can't remember her name now. Yeah, she's the one from iCarly, actually. She's the one who talked about the foot fetish stuff and whatever, but it's just very dark and very disgusting. But yeah, so it's called Quiet on Set, and I believe it's out March 17th. It's a 4-episode documentary, so it should be interesting. And then on to lighter things, Risa Tisa. Risa Tisa is the woman from Who the Fuck Did I Marry, who had the TikTok thing. She's been signed, man. Listen, I love a good come up story. But she's been signed by CAA, who's a major talent industry in they do like their major talent representative. Yeah, they're sick. She also had a what was it? What publication was it? She had basically had a not photo. Oh, The Cut. It was The Cut, and she was on the had a magazine spread thing, whatever. But yeah, basically she's been signed, man, and can't lie to you, I'm here for it. I'm here for any good thing that happens to her. I think that this would be a great series. I want to watch it.
What would be a series?
Who the fuck did I marry?
All right, so they're going to now turn that into some motion picture or something?
I'm not sure, but the people that represent her is like their talent agency.
Yeah. So
they might go and start pitching that, but I don't know.
So they're seeing it as her IP, basically, and
I
they're
hope
now
so.
going to
because some people were saying on the TikTok and she said she has spoken to lawyers and stuff. Because that's my story before Tyler Perry gets a hold of it and then switches it. Now the black woman's the victim.
Oh my goodness!
With a bad wig.
Oh my goodness!
That man loves a bad wig.
That's
That's why Kelly Rowland took her wig on set. Do you see it? Kelly Rowland's hair was... I still haven't watched that film, but Kelly Rowland's wig was laid. And that's because she didn't rely on Mr. Perry's budget. Oh, child. But yeah, I don't know why, what they signed her for and whatnot, but who knows what talent she has, man. It'd be sick. I'm here for it.
Isn't he on record paying black women well other than Monique?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently he does pay them well, but you know, good pay, your mental health. You got to decide which is more important. But yeah, man. But I'm here for Risa Tisa getting good things happen to her. Of course, Legion, her ex, his name is actually Jerome, but Legion just sounds great. He said that he doesn't understand why he signed that she ain't got no talent. First of all, how would you know?
Wait, Legion said that?
Legion said that.
Wait, does he have plenty of followers now?
I don't know, I don't know. But anyone that's following Legion is going to have the
crazy how he just says, hey, I could... Well, this is my story too, to be honest.
Can you imagine? No, but okay, basically, so when the whole story was going viral and whatnot, yeah, he tried to come out and be like, thank you. He was thanking Netflix for reaching out to him. Then obviously people break it down and saw that he was just stood behind a Netflix green screen. The guy is, he's Legion. He's Legion. So, I mean, I believe that he said this one because it sounded something that he would say.
But he can be a villain.
Nah, man. Someone like that, yeah, I don't think you even want them on set.
But the manosphere love them types of fellas, no?
Would they?
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Because can they believe anything he says? Every day, every morning, Brent, at 6:30 a.m., he was on his phone to his imaginary brother without fail. Every day. And there was nobody on the other side of the phone. He would even say, oh, John said say hello. And then Reese would be like, hey, John. He'd be like, oh, Jen said hello. He's going to see you soon. What?
Sounds like a
There's
fantastic...
nobody on the phone.
Sounds like a fantastic actor to me.
Oh, scary.
You can find work in Hollywood.
That's scary. That's scary. When you actually deep it, that's scary, man.
He's like has a Rolodex of personalities. Like he just...
Yeah, like he just
jump in.
Yeah, man.
That's a skill.
I'll be honest. I don't know if it's a skill, but it's just like, wow. That a number on you. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to see what it does with Reese Tisa.
I do want to see. I want to see what happens. I mean, they got the magazine spread. She's been on Tamron Hall. I think she can turn into something positive and can do something positive with it. Like, I don't know, start support group or stuff like that. I don't know. Something I think she can turn something positive because she does seem like a very nice woman who just wanted to help anybody else who was in that situation. And I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the money corrupts her. That might be a good start.
I hope not. Because if that man didn't corrupt her, she can't let money be the one. Yeah, man. Anyway, speaking of corruption, well, actually, let's speak. I'm here. I'm already here. I spoke about Grassfield's business, right? That was owned by the twin sisters, and there was a whole thing last year about one of them came out. Her name's Christelle, and she came out and talked about how their business had been taken from them by these Asian.
Yeah, I vaguely remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was a whole thing, and then people who'd worked for the brand came out and said that they owed them money.
Yeah.
Suppliers said they owed them money, and I think they tried to file bankruptcy and whatnot. Basically, essentially, they were blamed for embezzlement of funds, of business funds, because basically her sister had an illness, so she was dying and blah, 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 blah. Cut a long story short. Yeah. She's basically put up a post saying that she's going to get her business back.
Yeah.
But I think that she shouldn't have done that. Because I think that she's moving as though they didn't do people wrong within the black community. So you started this black-owned business, which is great and whatnot, but when the whole business thing happened and she spoke about it, there were suppliers back home and everywhere else that was saying that you haven't paid them. There was models that you used and whatnot that said you hadn't paid them, so that you got people that you've offended on a personal level. So I think that to come and be saying this story as if like it's a victory for all of us, it isn't if you haven't made right with other people. And the reason why I say that is because the deal isn't even closed yet. So this need, you people on social media and this need to always announce things because you want to prove to people that you're doing things, okay? But to feel the need to announce to everybody that you've nearly closed on a deal. Close on the deal first, sis. Because the way people move online...
Is she still a sis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a twin.
I'm not talking about that.
Oh, like an ally, sis.
An ally sis?
Yeah, like...
Is she black?
Yeah.
What do you mean an ally sis?
When you say sis, what do you mean sis?
You're still basically have her in the fold after she basically...
You mean like, is she my sis? Like how...
Is she black sis? She's still in the sisterhood?
No, I don't think so. No, but not my sisterhood. In my sisterhood, we don't cheat each other and rob each other. So, like... But I use the word sis loosely.
So y'all haven't forgotten then?
Who's
Nobody's tweeted said, is it you?
I think people would have done that 100%. Okay. But yeah, because I haven't gone to see what the streets are saying per se like that. But I just think obviously there's people that are happy for her, but I just think that I'm not here for people.
Are there people happy for her? They forgotten.
Yeah, but people that know her.
All right then.
People that know her.
Or that were part of the.
No, I wouldn't say part of. They're not part of the business, but they know her like personally, or they know her sister or whatever, or they did not know that she actually owed individuals money too. But obviously, her story is sad in that she was embezzling funds to save her sister's life in it.
No.
But at the same time, business is business, love.
Was that verified?
That's what she said. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what am I going to do?
About Risa Tisa, get me?
I don't think she's a Legion. I don't know, Brent. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I don't know. I'm just here to let you know what's happening in the world.
Grassfields, what were they selling?
Clothes.
Oh, serious? Black
clothes? We said black clothes. Well, like African print clothes, basically.
And so it's wavy?
Huh?
Was it wavy?
They were nice. Nice items.
So she's going to get it back from the Asians?
I don't know how that's going to work, but essentially she's saying that she's going to be well, yeah, there's an ongoing battle, and battle's going to be... not battle. The case is going to be finalised. I think maybe they've won, but they haven't... It's not like signed on a dotted line yet. But I just think she did it a bit prematurely. But she's... Anyway, let me leave my comments out there.
Emmanuel, a win is a win is a win?
Yeah, it depends, man.
If they're winning back from the Asians, is that a win?
No, they don't pay other people. Because remember the Asian people that she was telling that sold her business, they said, no, you sold it. We bought it at an auction. So they said, no, it wasn't. They said that they bought the business at an auction, right? And then they said that because of the history of the business, they then hired them to come on as consultants because they said, you know what, you guys started this as sisters, but like you've got an emotional attachment to it. So do you know what? We'll do you a favor and we'll hire you on They hired them on as consultants from with that bag too. And they were like, hey, you gotta go. Because and then they said when they got them on is when they realized that they owed this person money. And then they settled all those bills and whatever else. But then it's like, here you are being ungrateful, trying to take up the business after we let you in. But they said that you didn't sell it to us directly. We bought it as an auction, at a government auction and stuff like that.
They kept them on as consultants to keep the business running.
So that's the thing. That's why I feel like they kept them on so the business can appear black facing, can appear black owned. So don't act like you both were doing each other favors. Because the girls also didn't tell the customer that it was owned by Asian people now. All the best, everybody. That's what I've got to say. But yeah, that's it. Let's get into People's Journal.
Right there.
Volume and the top.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. Tomorrow I'm going to go into the budget in a lot more detail. But I did want to give like some of the key points from Jeremy Hunt's speech. I was listening to it earlier today. Well, I was listening to what's her name, Rachel Reeves, who's the Shadow Chancellor's her rebuttals this morning. But anyway, let me get into it. So we kind of spoke about this earlier this week about the 2p reduction in national insurance. So that's obviously going to be rolled out. Also, non-dom tax payers, right? Well, they're going to start paying tax anyway. Basically, those people who are UK residents, right, with a permanent home overseas, there was some sort of situation where basically they didn't have to pay tax in the UK, only on money earned in the UK. They're basically scrapping that now.
That's not fair, is it?
It depends. It depends how you see it. To be fair, Labour's going to do the same thing. So, you know what I mean? They're trying to appear like, you know, that they actually kind of, I don't know, like I guess some of the pluses that people would have been happy about Labour implementing this.
Oh, they're trying to say how.
You know what I'm saying?
We do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Also, wanted to mention in terms of like child benefit. Remember I believe it was the last budget or the budget before that. We spoke about how child benefits has kind of changed now, right? So basically, the current limit for people to actually get child benefit is at £50,000. That's now increased now to £60,000. So if you earn less than £60,000, you're entitled to full child benefit, right? So that's changed. Partial child benefit, that will be paid up to £80,000. If you earn below £80,000, you at least get some child benefit as well. Also, they're implementing longer repayment periods for people who are on benefits who take out like emergency budget loans from the government and stuff like that. There's also going to be a government fund for people who are struggling with the cost of living pressures, and that basically is going to continue for an extra 6 months as well. They're really trying to make people, like, I don't know, really warm up to them, I guess, innit? And make it seem as though they're really trying to do something. Obviously, one of the main priorities for Jeremy Hunt was to reduce all the taxes. By reducing the taxes, obviously, they've got to kind of figure out a way to get that money back. You know what I'm saying? And one of the ways they're doing that is by the taxing on vaping products. So that's...
They're reducing taxes on vaping products.
No. So they're getting the money from there, yeah. Essentially, kind of, I mean, you're just moving money around, essentially, innit? But yeah, they're increasing that, innit? But because they want to kind of make vaping cheaper than cigarettes, because obviously they care about your health, right?
Well, I thought they were going to make vaping illegal. Isn't vaping worse than cigarettes?
For the kids.
Oh, for kids?
Yeah.
I was thinking of the vaping shops the other day on the high street. I said, oof, it's a tough business to be in.
But vaping's less harmful than cigarettes, isn't it?
That's what they tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what they tell you. I don't think it is.
Well,
Is it?
I'm sure I've seen that it's
Let me ask Gemini.
same vibes.
yeah.
Ask who?
Gemini.
Because it hasn't got
Jermaine.
there's something in there. I think they're saying it's less addictive, right?
Nah, vaping is very... Have you seen people looking for their vape? Wendy Williams went mad looking for her vape. She was mad. She said to her sister, she said, are you stupid? For a vape. I think vapors are worse than weed smokers.
Do you feel like it's more...
Have you seen someone looking for their vape?
No, vapors go crazy, man.
It might be because
shit's
it's more in your
addictive.
face, isn't it? It's we're used to cigarettes, isn't it? If you see someone smoking a cigarette, you don't think nothing about it.
No, trust
you
me.
see someone
Yeah.
open their vape.
Vape is... I remember when I worked at Next Year, my manager was vaping on the shop floor. Vaping is not it, man.
Well, it's cheaper than cigarettes. So I think they're trying to be like, okay, you know, cigarettes is obviously very harmful for you. You know, move over to the vapes if you're going to smoke something. So in order to do that, they're increasing the tax duty on tobacco.
Okay.
So that's gone up as well to make sure that vaping, even though they've increased the taxing on vaping, it's still cheaper than cigarettes overall.
Okay.
Nice says vaping is likely less harmful than smoking cigarettes, but it's not safe. If you're looking to quit smoking, there are safer and more effective methods available like nicotine patches, gum, or medication with a doctor's guidance. Ultimately, the best choice for your health is to avoid both smoking and vaping.
Yeah, I've never smoked a cigarette, but I did vape one time and I was struggling in my gym class. It wasn't. And you know, I'm already at capacity because of my asthma, so it was not great. Yeah, it's not it, man.
Wait, you have asthma and you were vaping?
Listen, just calm down, Dad.
Yikes.
Because I did it for the blueberry of it all. No, it was a grape. I actually saw it this morning, you know. Funny enough, I saw it this morning. I thought, oh, shit. But no, it was a grape flavored one. So you think it's fun? That's the problem. You think it's fun. It's killing your lungs, man.
100%. 100%.
Put the vape down.
Next thing I want to mention, remember that whole 5p cut in the fuel duties? So like, you know, petrol and diesels cut down by 5p. That was due to end, innit? Right? So that's been kept for another year.
Oh, lovely.
So they've put that in there. Windfall tax. Remember we spoke about that as well, and how Labour kind of Labour loved to hold on to the fact that they were the ones who pretty much forced the government to actually act on in that particular way, right? So that was scheduled to end March of 2028. That's been extended for another year to March 2029. Also for the people that are, you know, progressing in life, man, and you know, buy business class flights and things of that nature, right? Well, there's going to be a tax on that, right? So the air passenger duty, which is basically the tax paid on those flights, that's going to be going up for business class flights, business class tickets, I should say.
You know, when you book a flight here and then you see the breakdown, you could actually throw up because the tax is actually more than the damn seat. And I just think, just don't show it to me. Don't show it to me, please. Because a flight to Nigeria is technically £200. Don't show it to me that I've just paid £850. Stop it.
It's crazy.
So cheeky.
Similar thing with the fuel, though. Similar thing with petrol and diesel.
I hate a breakdown of...
It's crazy.
Let me just have the total.
But then it will make you feel like, you know what, this government is really mismanaging our resources.
Yeah, but it just makes me angry. What can I do with that? I can't do anything with it. I can't march to Rishi Sunak. He's an...
We can vote differently.
Egg. Did you see the interview he and his wife did?
Sunak?
For Grazia, yeah.
No, I've not seen it, you know.
They're jokers. They asked him something about like what they like to do at the end of the day, like what's the household task they like to do. This man's out here talking about he likes to unload. He's like, oh, it's a tough decision between loading the dishwasher and making the bed. I said, you don't even know what your bed is. Don't be silly. Such a lie. And then the wife was like, she's like, oh, I really enjoy like, you know, being with the kids and setting the table, you know, to just make it look nice. I said, oh, you people are lying. How are you lying in our faces like this? It's all right. Yeah. I know you're rich and I know you got like every household person to manage everything. It's all right. It's okay. Damn liar.
When you're rich, are you going to have maids to set your table?
I don't need to be rich to do all that. I'm going to be doing it. I'm a babe of convenience. I let people know at every chance. I told you that when I'm rich, I'm going to be vegan because I'm going to have a private chef. Oh, with a sprinkle of chicken here and there. But, yeah. 100%.
Sprinkle.
I'm giving up soya wings. It's silly. No, I think if you're rich, I think live in your richness, in your wealth. There's no problem with that. But I just don't like when you try to act like you can empathize with the average person. And that's what they were doing that for, is to make the British public think that, oh yeah, they put their kids to bed and they set the table and he loads the dishwasher. No. That man does not load the dishwasher. Doesn't even know where it is. Anyway. Oh, Brent.
I don't like to advocate for this mother, right?
No, here we go.
But
here you are.
He's saying he has a maid to load the dishwasher?
He didn't say that. He said he was doing it. And that's what I'm saying.
You're saying he cap.
Brent, if you listened, I should have said in the
how
clip.
he was saying it. It's
how they were both. They were both stuttering. They were both. It's like they didn't know that question was gonna be there. And then they were like, yeah, you know, like well, it's between making the bed and.
Oh, so they were trying to guess what the normal people would say.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, it sounded.
I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's how I was looking at them like, you don't know, you don't do any of these tasks you're talking about. You don't pick your kids up from school. Don't be silly. You don't. Do you know what school they actually? Well,
They
they'll
can't
go
afford to
eating
do
and
that,
stuff. Or pick up the kids from school.
Yeah.
Why not? They get jumped.
They'll get got.
Exactly. If you were a good prime minister, you wouldn't get got. There would be no risk of you getting got. So if you get got, it just sounds like you having the day you deserve, King. Anyway, he's those prime minister.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to mention is about housing, right? So the higher rate of tax, right, which is paid on profits from selling your properties, that's going to be cut from 28% to 24%. So again, that's a good thing, I believe. There's going to be tax breaks for owners of holiday let properties. Well, sorry, the tax breaks that are currently there, they're going to be scrapped, I should say. And stamp duty, that tax break as well, that was brought in by, I think it was Kwesi Kwarteng, and Liz Truss. Anyway, that tax break, when you basically buy multiple properties in England or Northern Ireland, that's going to be ending in June. So if you've got in your mind that you wanted to buy a second property, third, fourth, 10th property, do it ASAP. Do it sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be paying the extra, I don't know what percentage it is, come June. The OBR, is the Office for Budget Responsibility. They're predicting that the UK economy is going to be growing by 0.8% this year. So again, this is a good look coming in, coming ahead of the elections that are obviously on the horizon. Also, they're predicting a growth of 2% predicted for 2026. So next year they're predicting 1.9%, 0.8% this year, 1.9% next year, 2026 2%, 2027 1.8%. And also UK inflation, that's forecasted to fall below 2% by the end of June. That's what they're saying. That's what they believe, man. And they're believing it will fall further to 1.5% next year as well. What else is there? NHS, the budget is going to be going up by 2.5 billion next year. And they're also saying that the service will also get an additional 3.4 billion pounds up to 2030. That's obviously to help with all sorts of stuff in the NHS where it's kind of failing, and overall just to improve its productivity. They're also saying that the threshold at which certain businesses, well, not certain businesses, the small businesses, before they have to start registering to pay VAT, that threshold is now increased from £85,000 to £90,000. So again, it's a good look for businesses. I believe he did. I guess both chancellors, as in the incumbent chancellor and the shadow chancellor, are basically saying that the UK needs to focus on growth. So this is definitely one way of doing so. You know what I'm saying? They're also saying that the whole government loan scheme during COVID for small businesses.
Of course, yeah. Of which the big businesses took part, but yes.
Yeah, that thing has been extended until March of 2026. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, they're trying. And obviously I did mention in the headlines already that they are trying to prioritize equality and whatnot. So they're giving £1 million.
Equality and whatnot.
They're giving £1 million for a memorial to honor Muslims who fought in the World War I and World War II for Britain.
And he's still giving the 50 million to the Jewish community for security.
Oh, for sure.
Wonderful.
You know what I'm saying?
And the Muslims who suffer Islamophobia, even by the guy the other day who did not want to admit on LBC, they get £1 million.
Well, they're not getting anything. They're just getting a memorial.
Ah.
The memorial costs £1 million.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. We appreciate you. The last thing I did want to mention briefly is just that Nationwide, apparently they're buying Virgin Money, man. A big 2
Virgin Money.
Virgin. Virgin does everything. Flights, money, mobile. Well, it used to be mobile.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Was it O2 now, isn't it?
It's Volt. I think Virgin and O2 together are Volt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Something like that.
There you go.
Anyway.
So yeah, man, Nationwide, they've agreed for a takeover, 2.9 billion. So yeah, they're going to become a bigger rival in this country, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal, though.
All right, thank you very much. Let's get into our interview. Oh, you're not going to be pressed?
No.
All right, people. Well, we told you we had a special guest this week. I've spoken about him, and I've spoken about his work in the past. But we have the lovely Travis J with us.
What's going on, guys?
Good morning.
Big up.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Yeah, I had a long drive to get down, but yeah, man, nice man.
We appreciate you being here with us. Definitely appreciate it.
Hold up. We might have to.
Was it far? Where you come from?
Me, I live out of London. I'm not about to say where.
Yeah,
But out of London.
Yeah, it's a
That's
couple hours
nice. Is it like countryside?
drive. Not really, but country roads.
Oh, nice. I love country roads. I feel like I love the energy. It's very calming. I think when you come to London,
Oh, bro.
you come into the busyness of it, and then you just get to just retreat into.
It's like my road rage is different. Up there, I don't really get into it. with
Yeah,
people,
you
know what I
don't,
mean?
man. There's something
People
about
let me
London.
go, I let them go. Like I'm a different person up there.
Yeah, you say
And then
good
code
morning to your
switch.
neighbours.
Yeah,
Oh.
you code switch into London. Now I'm cussing. Everyone's a pussy. I don't
Everyone's
know.
a pussy.
I don't know what the swearing thing is. Is it?
Oh no, you can't. Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
cool.
You're good.
Sorry, my
We're
bad.
here now. No, I'm
Apologies.
taking over. No. Wait.
Women
They
and
spend a lot on
children.
here. We just don't say the N word.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Or you owe us £5 each time.
Say no more. Say no
Yeah.
more.
We're trying to change the culture. Single-handedly doing our bit for
One platform at a time. I respect it.
exactly. Thank you very much. Right, so basically, with all our guests, we play a game with them just to
Okay.
warm you up. Get you right here.
Calm.
And we know it's early in the morning, so you need to defrost that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So it's general knowledge and this or that as well.
Okay, cool.
We are keeping. We do have a scoreboard.
Oh, right, we're competing.
Yes,
okay,
you
cool.
are.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
Absolutely. Oh, that's nice. What's it called, Brad? What's the technical name for it?
Wait.
Graphic?
So you're saying he's nice because he looks handsome? He's the same guy that's sitting there.
Are you an egg? I'm commenting on your work. You see, some people just don't deserve nice things.
But I do this all the time.
Yes, and every time I'm going to compliment you, King.
I like that.
Oh, shut up.
Get used to this.
Shut up.
Take your praise, bro.
Can you imagine? Just say thank you.
Thank you.
I don't even know what it's called at the end of that. Anyway, so yeah, this or that and general knowledge questions.
Okay, cool.
And we're definitely keeping score. I think, are you my first male guest this year?
No, second, Yeah.
Oh,
Ava still.
oh yes. Oh, sorry, babes. All right, lovely. All right.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
The only male that's obviously coming to show this year is at the bottom of this leaderboard.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so we need you to.
No
Okay,
fun
cool.
facts.
Okay, cool. The bar is in hell, so say no more.
Ciao. Lower. All right. Well, are we ready? Are you ready?
Start
Yeah,
from
let's
the
do it.
top.
Yeah. Brent, are you ready?
Yes. If you don't know it, say pass because you want to get as many points on the board.
Oh, is it timed, yeah?
Yeah.
1 minute.
Got 1 minute.
Okay, cool. All right.
So my co-host don't know what's happening.
You
So
go first. You want to go first?
what do you mean? We did this everything. You go first.
All right, I'll go first.
And then we go down this way. Yeah. You good? Hello.
Yeah.
Making sure. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
AJ or Ngannou?
AJ,
Which British singer-songwriter released the album 19 in 2008?
pass.
Jude Bellingham plays for what Spanish team?
Real Madrid,
Tablets or injections?
tablets.
One Love is a biopic about what musician?
Bob Marley,
Which boxer defeated Robert Duran by making him quit?
Sugar Ray Leonard,
Home or abroad?
home.
What is the name of the famous clock tower in London?
Oh, Big Ben,
Which British musician recently got stripped of their MBE?
Wiley,
Acting or writing?
acting.
Who wrote the best-selling memoir, The Colour Purple?
Ooh, pass.
Which British comedian created and starred in the TV series Chewing Gum?
Oh, what's her name? Pass. Fuck's sake.
Gym or good diet?
Jim,
What is 2 times 3 times 2?
12.
Who was the British Prime Minister during World War II?
Churchill.
Done
Really well. I
man.
think you
Done well.
did. I mean, you did it for the guys. You did well.
What's the score?
I need to calculate.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So
Cool.
the chewing gum is Michaela Cole.
Yeah, no, I had her
Yeah.
face in my head, but I didn't have the name.
We got Michaela Cole.
Eater.
I said, Peter. I said, see her name.
And then the songwriter with the album 19, Adele.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she's making
I heard
everyone feel her
2008. I said, I'm not doing all that.
love. Too far away.
Was that what he got wrong?
Yeah, actually.
No, you
got me on my
you
dream.
skipped a few.
I passed a few.
Oh, did he?
Was the Jude Bellingham one right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even into football like that, but I just shot.
Oh, Colour Purple, Alice Walker.
Yeah, that wasn't even in my head. Not gonna lie.
That's orcs there, because you got the women wrong. That's not.
We trying.
It's not correct.
Don't frame me like that.
It's
Got
what
Big-
I'm saying.
you
It's
skipped Big Ben.
International Women's Month.
You skipped Big Ben as well.
I
innit?
said Big Ben.
No, you said Big Ben.
Yeah.
You said Big Ben. You got Churchill. I never would have got that right.
Yeah, no, I'll be.
Been too many prime ministers, man.
I need to confirm, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like
He's not first. I'm not doing this. You would not do this.
it looks like again. I'm going to confirm, but it looks like we may have a joint first.
Oh,
Mad.
is it?
Mad.
That's sick, though. That's amazing. Not from the bottom.
Listen, you told me it's a competitive
No,
thing.
you did. I love that. I love competitive people.
He's dethroned the Black Queen.
That's
No, he's
crazy.
sitting
You lot
on the
framing
bed.
that of me is disgusting, boy. Messed out all the women answers, and I'm knocking a woman off the top. That's
On
mad.
International Women's
That's
Month.
ugly, man.
Oh,
now
not
take
it.
off one of those. Take off one of those. I'm not being that guy
No,
today,
no,
man.
he's sitting on the throne with her.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Love
Yeah,
that.
equality. You see, that's what I'm
See,
about.
here we
Come
go.
on.
Love
let's
that.
change the
Absolutely
narrative.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, you didn't do that bad. I love that actually. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. All right, so can you please let our lovely listeners who may not know you know what it is that you do?
My name's Travis J. I'm a stand-up comic first and foremost. I act, I write, I have a couple of podcasts, and yeah, just all around busy guy, man.
What are your podcast called?
So I have a boxing podcast called the Undefeated Podcast.
Oh, sick.
And we've got a new podcast that me and KG host that on the Undefeated Podcast.
Big
But
up
we also
KG,
do shouts, that's my brother, man. And we do another podcast, Expect Foolishness. So that's like just a comedy podcast. Like we're both comedians, so we thought
That'd be so funny.
yeah, doing the boxing thing is cool, but we've got to kind of be on brand at the same time as well. So we do those podcasts both weekly. So
So you do the boxing one with him as well?
yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
You guys been friends for how many years?
Yeah, we go back, man. Like we had it before we like did a podcast together. We had a radio show together called The Vibe, and it's now the Beat London when it was Bang Radio.
Okay, yeah.
So, but we've known each other from the circuit and stuff like that. But that's like, you mean some people in your journey in your life. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is my brother still. Yeah, he's my best man at my wedding. Like that's my
Oh,
guy.
that's
So
amazing.
yeah, man.
I love a brotherhood. So lovely. I was going to ask as well, when did you start coming? Wait, were you a class clown when you were in school?
Not really, you know. I was
that.
funny to like my little group of friends,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like out there like that. Do you
Yeah.
see what I mean? I was like a quiet one, quite reserved.
Okay.
So I feel like me being a stand-up comic kind of surprised most of my family.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have thought my brother would have been the stand-up comic because he's
Okay.
just like he's out
Yeah.
there. So yeah, but like I'm one of those like Jekyll and Hyde type personalities. So like I can be quite shy, I don't really need to be in the middle of the room. But you announce my name and I go on stage, you'd be like, "Rah,
Yeah.
I didn't even see that for my man. But that's just kind of how I am.
Because you always get comedians. You know how rappers always say they had a teacher that didn't believe in them. I'm saying, if you're a nuisance in the class, I can understand why Miss would have said that. But I feel like with comedians, well, you always get them be like, oh, I was such a class clown and I was always going to be that. So it's interesting to... I feel some people are lying, by the way. But...
Yeah, because everyone said their teacher said they weren't going to be shit.
Yeah,
And I'm
come
like, bro,
on, man.
That's a mad hack for teachers to have the same bar like that.
Honestly.
But it's one of the ones where my parents even would just wouldn't stop talking. So he's always chatting. That was kind of just a consistent thing.
And how did you get into comedy? Like, what? Did your friends tell you were funny? Like, how did you get into it?
Do you know what? I used to play basketball. So basketball was the dream at that point in my life.
Yeah.
But, you know, you kind of get to like 19, 20 and it's like, bro, scouts don't phone me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm on no one's radar. So I just thought, well, let me start to
You
kind of...
thought you was going to the NBA?
Bro, I thought I was going to the league, fam. You couldn't have told me I wasn't going to the NBA.
Really?
I lived such a regimented life at the time. I was up at 6, local court,
really?
shooting shots.
Oh, you good like that?
I was, back then?
Yeah.
I was so disciplined. I was in uni, I didn't rave.
They said, are you good? Not disciplined. Were you good at basketball?
What, good at playing ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, at the time, I was nice. I was
Okay,
nice. I
okay,
could
okay.
exist at a high level. Like, my uni
Okay.
team, a lot of my teammates went pro over here. Like, a couple guys did the American college thing. So it's like, I could exist on the court with them. But you know, when you start to get to a point, I'm like, I'm not even the best player I know. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking if I somehow get there, there's bare men that need to get there as well for
But
it to
what
make
age was
sense.
that? Like, you thought that?
I was like 2021, coming up to the final season of like playing uni ball, and I was just like, this isn't really looking like it's my thing. So I thought, right, I'm too regimented right now to experience life. So I thought, let me start going out more. And that's when I was like venturing to a comedy club and just kind of seeing what was going on. But before that, it was like a military lifestyle. But growing up, my mum's a stand-up comic. Like my mum's
really?
Angela Moore, yeah. So she's like, yeah, first black British female comic in the UK.
Passed over
Yeah,
it.
drop
Like,
that bomb, Sam.
many questions.
Amazing.
What?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So I've grown up with comedy in the backdrop of my life.
yeah.
You see what I mean? But for me, I've always looked at it like, that's what my mum does. That's just her thing. So I guess it's like nature versus nurture, where it's like,
Yeah.
why am I in this game? Is it because it's like my DNA was going to lead me here?
Yeah.
Or just a random one? So yeah.
That's amazing. Do you remember your first comedy show?
Yeah, it was Sunday show. So basically my goal, because I was going to the Coldress Funhouse
Yeah.
just to watch. I thought, oh, this is sick.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of caught the bug.
Yeah.
So I've reached out and I've got the date to do one of the fun houses like on the deaf spot. That's what they used to call it at the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like laugh or boo this guy off if he's not funny, like high stakes. So I think Kojo was just like, boom, go and do Sunday show to see what that's like. So that's when I did the Sunday show, and it went really well. Like for a first show like that, it was sick. My second show was crap because now I'm gassed in it. I'm thinking, raw, I've got this thing patterned. Bruv. The humbling one in the second one was outrageous.
Did you get booed?
No, I didn't get booed, but you just didn't really get laughs. Like, you still get introduced as a new comic, so the crowd are a bit more gracious.
So but
it's just like little light chuckles.
they didn't get him off stage.
Yeah, that's when you know, okay, cool, work starts now.
Oh my gosh.
Where do you draw inspiration from? Like when you actually sit down and say to yourself, you know, I need to write jokes.
Yeah.
Like, how does that process start?
Do you know what? I'm one of those comics that, like, I speak kind of true to life. Like, if I've lived it, I've got material about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can sit down and write a joke for joke's sake. But I found nowadays, like, you know, I'm kind of a bit further along in my journey. I find all my best materials from the truth. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's something, my opinion on life or a circumstance, or something I've actually been through, that's when I'm the strongest. Okay. So that's kind of where I let life happen.
So
do you lie though?
Do I lie?
Well, not lie. The lies are bad
exaggerate
word.
the truth.
Exaggerate?
Yeah, do you exaggerate?
Well, anytime you hear a comic say, "Oh, over there I was walking down the street," like, you can't. It's not everybody that was walking down the street. They got a joke they're trying to squeeze in, but
Yeah, but I mean, like, because sometimes you hear people go into a thing and they say, "Oh, like, this is a true story," like that. But then obviously there's still a part of you that thinks, not how true is it, but like how much sauce
have you thrown in there?
have you thrown on this? You know what I'm saying?
there's mad sauce on this on a lot of people's stories. Because it's like, I gotta frame this as a joke. You see what I'm saying? But the root is true. Like, if I talk about my son, like, I got stuff about my son now, and I'm like, nah, he's got an agenda against me. Like, because the way he breastfeeds, he looks me in the eyes. Like, he's trying to send man a message. Like, that's a fabrication of a moment, but the reality is he's dominating my household with how demanding he is. But I've got to frame this and put some sauce in it to give it a bit of flavor for the audience to be on this journey with me. So yeah, there's a sauce in there, fam.
Do you think that's a coping mechanism? Like, when life happens, because when life happens to me, I just cry and have to take a nap. But when life happens to you, do you see that and think, oh, it's gonna be good material?
Oh, do you know what? This is the toxic part of the game.
It's wild.
You be going through the deadest moment in your life, and there's a little.
So what's all this about? When is it about Dave Chappelle?
We'll get into that. We'll go into
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, there's
you editing on the go.
Yeah, no, there is that moment where you just go, this is going to be a sick bit when I'm ready to talk about it. You do know this is going to land, but at the same time, you're still going through a madness.
But how do you know when you're ready to talk about how do you know when you're ready to talk about it? Do you always wait for the thing to pass? Or have you ever...
Yeah, you can't...
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it live, but the pain will come through.
Imagine crying on stage. You do too much.
You got to get through that
your own
pain first.
situation.
So we can focus on the funny bit, man. Because otherwise, it's just a depression monologue.
Can you imagine? No one's trying to hear that. Please pass the mic. But like, so with comedy... Crap, I forgot what I was going to say.
I got a new one for you. Are you funnier than your mum?
Am I funnier than my mum? That's one of the ones I can't really take that on, but because it's like that's a weird thing, because she's mentored me on this journey, like, and almost like I look at my career and I'm like, I have to achieve certain milestones because she was able to achieve certain milestones and she never had Angela Moore in her corner. I do, so that's the pressure. But as far as being funny, I can't take those. That's like, we're in a different era. The whole landscape is different. The way the people are pushing the boundaries is different. Like, you can't really compare it like that. She did a show just in November, her final show at Catford Theatre, and she's retiring from stand-up. She bodied it. Like, I sat there and I was like, because there's a part of you that looks and thinks, right, like, you're not really in the clubs like that. I'm thinking, what's this show gonna be like? Because you're not outside it. Bruv, from just the ideas onto the paper, going out and just showing, okay, this is why I am who I am. I said, yeah.
No, big up her. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you say she mentored you, like, what does that look like in comedy?
So the first 5 years of my career, like, I was very much like, she just pretty much told to me, listen, you got to go out there and do everything. I'm going to give you the gems and the guidance, but you got to go into those clubs and perform because stand-up isn't something that you can be gifted. You could, like, I can't give you this thing, a script. You could have the script and somebody would be in the front row and they're heckling you and you ain't got nothing to deal with them. Yeah, glass could smash in the room and you don't know how to address it and keep going. So there's stuff that you have to learn on your feet. So it was very much a distant thing. Do you know what I mean? Even when I told her I was going to do stand-up, she's like, you best not go out there and embarrass me.
Word.
Pressure's high. Do you know what I mean? When they find out you're my son, it's going to be rough. Do you know what I mean? She's like, there's people that like me, there's people that hate me. You're going to have to navigate these waters, but on your own merit. So I was out there fighting for my way, man. Do you know what I mean? Some hosts would introduce, and I used to kind of keep it low-key.
Oh, that's with your mum?
No, for me, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so I was like, cool, but certain people just didn't play by the rules. From Richard Blackwood one time introduced me, he's like, this next guy coming to the stage, he's from good stock. Angela Mar's son.
Hey,
And as I'm walking out, I'm thinking, he didn't say my name. He did. Do you know what I
know
mean?
who I am.
But the crowd is excited at the sound of her
Okay,
name.
they're like, oh, yeah.
So the expectation's always been kind of
Always
high.
high.
Yeah, man.
Aw.
How do you feel about, let me frame it like this. Do you feel like, do you kind of criticize rappers, who you find out they had ghostwriters?
Do you know what? It's a mad one because on one hand, it's like, singers don't get this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Man will sing tunes and it's open that someone else wrote it. But at the same time, singers are singing about love and it's kind of like, if a man's barring and telling you who he is, like with vim, and it's kind of mad when you hear that's someone else's story.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like with, like, say, Rick Ross, for example, finding out that was like, right, this is a personality kind of just adopted, or that's how it was kind of sold to the public when people revealed it. So there's that pressure, and the stakes are a bit different for rappers. So I don't criticize personally when I find stuff out.
Yeah.
Like, but it does a lot when you hear their future bars.
Reason why I'm asking is because obviously, like in
That's
comedy
funny.
as well, like there's, like you get a lot of comedians who have other like help from writers,
Yeah.
but it's not seen as any negative, right?
You say that.
Or is it?
Kevin Hart keeps getting cooked.
But everyone did. Richard Pryor did. Like, everyone did.
Thing is, it's like having writers is like, man can write a couple jokes in the whole hour.
Okay.
And you still say it the same way he's got writers. Some people, they get a script and they just learn their script and they got to go.
Okay.
It's different. So you can't put everyone in the same bracket.
Okay.
But I think where it gets murky is that you got people that steal jokes. And then you got situations where some of the guys are just like, I ain't stolen a joke from no one. And they got writers, but the writers are stealing
The
jokes.
one stealing the jokes.
So it's just murky because now people are looking, thinking, all right, well, let's see what's what and who's actually written this kind of stuff. And it's a weird kind of dynamic at play right now.
Like, have you got writers?
Me, nah.
Who said it's not like a team where you just do your own thing?
Nah, man. Thing is for me, I take my time with my specials. Like the last one I did was recorded 2021. And at the end of this year, I'll go in again. Because I just feel like there needs to be a window for you to live life. Otherwise,
experience.
you write the same show in different words. If you're just going every 6 months, every year, like, after a while it becomes you get like a little formula and you get locked into it. It's
Have
You
you
got a team now?
repurposed? Sorry,
Okay.
I'm gonna.
See, we're so excited to have you here, as you can tell.
yeah, no, it's all good.
No,
Man.
he's not asking the right questions, so I'm trying to.
Say, I'm not answering the right question.
Not yet, but you're cooking.
Not yet. You're
Spoiler.
you're warming up.
Have you ever repurposed somebody else's joke?
Ooh,
Nah,
elevated it.
that's stealing, bro.
Is it?
Yeah,
Or did you just make it better?
Nah, because what happens is, this is where men think they're masterpieces in this thing. They'll take the premise of the joke.
Okay.
The joke is this punchline, and now you've changed the names, you've changed where the location was, you've changed this, but the rhythm and the beats are the same. That's where men think they've done a madness, but then
Yeah.
you watch it and you go, it's the same joke as that one, and you can absolutely see it if you watch it like for like. So
So you definitely say Cedric stole Cat's joke.
You know what?
No.
Even, I was just thinking about Fat Face on Liar. That's exactly what I was
No.
just thinking about.
but you gotta leave
Is it
room for two men to have the same idea.
Okay.
That's the part that's fair, because especially when it's like an observation thing. Because two comics can look at the same thing, see the same thing, go different comedy clubs same night and run that same joke.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
it's an obvious joke.
Yeah.
Those obvious ones, for me, when I'm like, take those off the table, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Because like, bro, like we've all got the ability to see and dissect that joke in that way. But
that
when
one
you're
was
doing
definitely
personal
stolen.
story, if I got a story about my child,
Okay, yeah.
all of a sudden your child's doing the exact same thing.
Come on.
There's
yeah.
still a possibility even there, but it just gets the percentage just gets lower. But
Yeah, because he just changed the car to a spaceship. So try a little bit harder next time, King.
Listen, I went to New York, brother, and this comic who I'd never heard of before in my life had this joke that was just like verbatim, same as mine. I was watching this guy like,
No way.
how? I was looking at his social media afterwards. I was thinking, there's no way. But then that's when you realize, like, bruv, man can have the same idea. It's
What was
just
the
I
joke?
it is.
think so, though.
What was it?
No, I'm not even about to. It's a long one. I'm not even going to get into it.
Do you think because sometimes this is the thing with social media. There's people that come up on my algorithm that I don't follow or anything like that, and I just see a clip of them, and then I just move on from it. But there's wherever it is I watched, I've remembered that. So even though he might not follow, you might not have no mutuals or whatever. The way social media works,
Yeah.
it really brings people on your path, and then you never have to see them again, and you can just go forth and use their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
but the chances are, just for the averages, people are going to have the same experiences.
But
in
same
life.
word bar for bar.
Sometimes people have the same experiences in life. You see it happen in music. People say the same things as you that you've never met. That there's no way There's no way.
No,
No way.
no. Give me an example.
Huh?
Give me an example.
I mean, I can't, but as someone who writes,
I don't think that happens.
I've wrote lyrics before that I've heard people say. It's not like the whole 16 word for word, but it's like what you're saying, like the crux,
The premise,
of-
yeah.
of what you're saying. Like somebody said it, and I didn't hear this. I just said this. So to hear it so similar is just proof that
Didn't
there's
happen
nothing
unless
original
you give
under
an
the sun.
example.
That's fair
You're
enough.
so annoying.
That's fair enough. You don't have to. It doesn't change
said, "Find it
my
happening."
experience. You get me? Just because you not believing it doesn't change my experience. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the issue.
I don't want
That's
to diminish
real.
your experience, to be honest.
You're so funny, man. But yeah, okay.
Two questions.
Go on.
All right. First of all, what's the best joke that you've heard from a fellow British comedian? And what is your best joke? You don't have to say it because I guess there's a little tee up and whatnot. But just what is it about?
The best joke I've heard. Oh man, it's so. I hate these moments because it's like it seems like I'm not trying to give anybody shine, but it's like I don't have anything in my head. Like it's when I'm in the club and I see someone do a madness, I'll go. Like for example, Ori Styler, he's on tour right now. So I went to see him perform. He had a night at the Camden Comedy Club, and I was there just doing a set on the night. But he was in such form. Everything he was doing was just cooking. I said, you're ready to tour. Do you know what I mean? So it's like where he was at then as a comic. You know when it's like you're watching someone. All right, you're in shape. You're in prime shape. I said, yeah, calm. So it's that thing of that more so than a one joke where I go, that's his best bit.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean? I can tell when a comic is locked in. So Ori right now left that feeling, but it wasn't a one particular joke. So I just have to shout at him on that one. As far as my best joke, I don't have a best joke. Like those days, the early days, I'd have a favorite joke because I'm like, this is my closer. This is when I'm ready to shut down and say goodbye. But now I feel like what motivates me is when I got something to say.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? My last show, live in London, that's on YouTube now. People can go and watch that. That show was really about the fact that I just experienced therapy for the first time.
Okay.
And my experience with that and how it's kind of opened my eyes and transformed me. And kind of letting them know my voice is different now because I've dropped all the things that you carry in society. Like, you know what I mean? The code, like, even like, for example, code switching. You go to work, you got to be someone else. You answer the phone to your mom, you're someone else. That was me kind of announcing I'm dropping all of these. Yeah, it's one energy every room.
Love that.
So that's what that show was. So for me, that show means so much to me on that front. But the joke itself, I don't put value on one particular joke or moment.
Who would you say are your top 5 comedians?
Chappelle.
No, do two. Where he can pick from the universe and then when he could pick from the UK.
Cool.
Not the universe.
Cool. Top 5 universe. Chappelle, Cat Williams, Dane Cook. I put Kevin Hart in there, and probably gonna go Bernie Mac, and then honorable mention Ali Sadiq.
Oh, Ali Sadiq already?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the storytelling for me. That's just top tier storytelling. Like, yeah. And it's like, for me, I rank them like that just on the stages of my career when I was starting out, the impact they had on me when I was watching for inspiration.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Ali Sadiq, he's sick though. He's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, what about UK?
UK,
Without hating.
it's so mad to rank people that you know well, do you know what I mean? And it not feel like a thing, but I'm gonna throw these guys out, not ranked. I'd
Oh,
probably
was that
say,
ranked? The US one? The universe one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I probably said it was ranked. Chappelle's definitely at one.
Okay.
Shout out Richard Blackwood.
See how it says shout out.
No, as in like this is the list, innit? It's like
Yeah.
Richard Blackwood, Dane Baptiste, Ori, Mo, Kojo, London Hugh. Like I'm gonna keep going long because there's more than there's so many more. But that, you know what I mean, that I rate. Babatunde, like Axel. There's a lot of men doing really big things. It's hard for me to just let that be 5. Like, cause I ain't got no favorites per se, but there's bare man of us that's doing
Out of
well.
all
in
of
this
them,
era.
who would you prefer to see a stand-up of if you just had to pick one?
I'm probably gonna say Richard Blackwood. Richard Blackwood's got this gift when it comes to off the top live improv comedy. Like I've done shows with Richard Blackwood, and in the changing room we're having a conversation about a thing, and he goes out and does 45 minutes on that topic.
Oh wow.
And he's just different. His mind is just different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's on tour at the moment as well. So catch him if you can. But yeah, he's improv in the room. Get up and heckle Richard Blackwood. You are in hell. He is a monster in that front. Kane Brown is another one I forgot to
If
shout
you're not
out.
on that circuit, you won't know how much of a legend Richard Blackwood is still.
Yeah.
If you don't go like comedy clubs and stuff like that, if you don't, you won't realize it. You get me that. But when he was on his come up in his heyday, this guy is like
It's different.
box office. He can he's our guy basically, the representation that will, if you're saying that we could go head to head with one of the American mans, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it feels like it will be Richard. Like he was just the guy. Like I can't explain it. Like I've seen him in Hackney Empire too many times, more times than I can count.
Bodied he's a problem.
Yeah, even like his reputation. I don't know, something happened. I don't know if it was after the music or I don't know what happened, but something happened in the public eye where his reputation got a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
That makes sense. People, I don't know why there's like I don't know what happened, but something happened. But that's not him, if that makes sense. Like, that wasn't. I don't know where that come from, if that makes sense. Because we championed him. Like he was a top boy. Like, he's super cold.
That's lit.
I got to shout out my brother KG as well. The bloody hell, how did I miss that? This guy's an absolute...
Too late.
Bro, no. See, this is what I hate with the UK things. I'm like, bro, you're too with friendships and relationships here, bro.
It's alright. You bigged him up at the start of the show. Don't get more personal than that.
Nah, he's a problem. He's a problem as well, still. Yeah.
We've got a question from Vibesy. It says, do you do crowd work in your stand-up? And what was your worst ever heckler like?
Crowd work, I'll do it kind of organically. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't really go out targeting the crowd for that moment. Like right now, there's a thing of crowd, like comics come on and they interrogate the front row.
Yeah,
What
but
do you
it's just
do?
like,
What
you
do you
people have a
do? And
moment,
then
man. I came here after a long day's work.
Yeah. You can get on top, but it's like that's the easiest type of content to have on social media as a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
Because it's in the moment. You can't replicate it. It's an organic thing. So I don't really look for that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like my whole thing is like, not to say I won't tear someone to bits if you try and piss me off while I'm on stage, but I go on there to perform my material.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as far as worst heckle, bruv, I thought I was gonna fight this brother. I did a gig in Luton, and it was like I was doing okay. I had the room. I was losing them. Like this is early days, and this brother's just like, "Where are you from, bro?" And I was like, "Central London, fam." Like that was like just a little back and forth. And he's like, "No, brother, where you from, fam?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a thing. This is the crowd." I'm realizing this is a Luton crowd, and the hood energy in here is loud. The man must. I was like, "Right, this is about to be beef." That's when I was like, "Okay, this isn't even. I'm gonna have to wrap the show soon and kind of get out of here." Yeah, that wasn't even really a heckle. Donnie was just trying to mix with him.
just so
He decided he's had enough.
What's like the UK comedy scene like though?
It's hard to answer that because everything's changed, man. Like the last wave, like when the Black Circuit, I felt like was really thriving is when there was just so many different shows happening. Do you know what I mean? The ecosystem was, you had Kojo's Funhouse, Sunday show, something for Sunday. There was always spots to be at.
Okay,
Now it's kind of different, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're flying the flag for the Black Circuit in a lot of other spaces. It's not really a mad eye-opener for a black comic to be on TV nowadays. We're kind of in a good little mix where you got like, you know, Mo doing his thing, Babatunde, Ori Style. Like, guys are being on TV, like myself, everyone's got things that happen, Dame Baptiste, and it's normal. It doesn't feel like a great So, you know, we're kind of pushing the boundaries for black comedy to exist. I see a lot of black comics in like mainstream comedy clubs, and that's just what they're doing. So, yeah, it's in a weird place, but I think it's in a good, progressive place at the same time.
Who's your favourite British UK comics, Brent?
Me?
Yeah.
Travis.
This guy. Is it number one, yeah?
Dane. Richard. Ori. Whew. Ori, like. Whew.
Who's Ori?
Ori Styler.
I don't know who that is.
What? How could you not know Ori?
Who's the face? What?
Remember the garage gunfinger joke?
so
Brent is so
stupid,
rude.
You might not have seen it.
I need to Google. I want to Google what he looks like. What, how do I spell his name?
AUR
AURIE.
Definitely know him.
AURIE.
STYLA.
What about Slim, man? Because
Okay, I've seen him. I was gonna say where's Slim. I ain't seen Slim in
Yeah.
ages. Slim was the
I'm
truth.
telling you,
At
first time I heard
at
Slim,
one point for me, Slim was the top
100%.
boy. Like he was the funniest.
100%.
Has to be. Like he was cold. I ain't really seen Ori before
I'll be honest with you, yeah. I didn't like Kojo in the beginning, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
because he used to repurpose a lot of American jokes.
You?
Kojo.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, like, some of these jokes are maybe too basic. Then I seen him open for Chappelle. And I said, I understand. You know what I'm saying? So
I've seen Kojo. I've seen Kojo have some good days as well.
Yeah,
though.
see what I'm saying?
I've seen him tear.
I was
some
happy to see
places
that,
down.
man.
He's doing bits in America at the moment.
Oh, sick.
But he was definitely guilty of just doing the English version of the American joke, like jokes that you've seen before, and he just make it like just do an English version of it. Like
Is that maybe because he was like one of the first?
maybe
You know what I mean? Obviously not the first, but you know what I'm saying? Like he was one of the.
like changing that. He was changing the style, so he was doing the American thing, but like in an English way or something like that. Like it was like
But it might have just felt like that because of the style of comedy that wasn't really like at the time. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a resurgence of the scene. So it might have just felt like, oh, it's the American version, so it just feels like it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know.
It could be that.
You see how like with music, the people that have been in the game and didn't get opportunities as easy back then as people do today. Because obviously today you can just go viral. Next thing you know, you're in a record label. Next thing you know, you're touring the world and stuff like that. We get that conversation a lot in music.
Yeah.
Is that the same in comedy? Because obviously there was a period where I guess doing like vines and social media type of comedy became a thing, and people generally will call them comedians as well.
Yeah.
So within the comedy industry, and people who had been doing it for years and know what it's like to actually go to a club, to actually try and get opportunities, all that kind of stuff, was there a bit of, I don't want to call it hateration, but was there a bit of
Frostiness, absolutely.
yeah, frustration and just looking at, I guess, the newcomers
Yeah.
coming in, being able to get opportunities and stuff like that. I hear you when you said about, a lot of you and your friends and all of you guys are just on TV now. With the younger people, I guess for them, like they would get podcasts, they would get all these companies, be like, oh, come and do this and all the sponsorships and stuff like that. What was the attitude or what was the feeling towards that?
When it was changing. Yeah, it was different, man. It was very different because, like you say, man are putting in a shift.
Yeah.
And you're watching guys kind of just move straight ahead of you in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
But, with every new element that comes into the game, it's going to be met with some resistance because how are you just going to take this from me? Like,
Absolutely,
so, a lot of stand-up comics at the time, and myself included at one point, would be looking at online creators and be like, why are you calling yourself a comedian? You can't do that in real life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, as this thing's matured, I got an appreciation for it. Do you see what I'm saying? I've definitely changed how I view online creation because I'm just like, it doesn't, yeah, cool, you can't do that in real life, but so what? It's a whole genre of comedy. So for me, how I look at the online comedy stuff, I look at it like how you'd say hip hop exists and then there's battle rappers over there. They're not the same, but they both rap.
Yeah.
So I look at those guys and I just enjoy what they're doing because that stuff is hard as well.
It is,
Do you know what I mean? That online content game is tough. So, you got your Munyas and these people like, Mo with the, couple of cans and all that kind of stuff. Those things can change the game very quickly. I just don't look at those things and then say, okay, yeah, now you're ahead of me as a stand-up comic. In terms of, guys who've never done stand-up before walking into a comedy club. I'd be like, yo, you're going to really have to learn this.
Yeah.
But there's some of them that are really doing their thing, like in terms of like that Jazzy right now. He's doing stand-up. But he's not coming like live show. He's going into the comedy clubs like on
putting the work.
Yeah, because it's a real craft.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love stand up. That's my base. So if anybody who respects stand up and goes on this journey, I got time for you.
Yeah.
But I just think when it was conflated at the top, when man be like, who's your favorite comedian? And you got a stand up comic in there who ain't got no online presence, and you're comparing him to this person who's just an online guy. I'm like, we're not having a fair. This isn't a decent convo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why Mo wasn't in your list?
He was on my list.
Yeah, he was.
I was just trying.
You trying to cause drama?
Just trying something.
Imagine what you got you here doing in the morning,
Innit? You're gonna start my day on madness, fam.
But before we talk about Rum Punch, because I saw the live film and I had a time was had. I had time. But can you tell us how? Because obviously we've got the picture up there.
Yeah.
How it was the Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
opening for
Chappelle.
him and stuff.
Yeah, that's mad. I mean, so Kojo and Dave Chappelle, they've been like they got a good relationship. They've known each other for years. So whenever Dave comes over and he tours, he always does like an underground show.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Just randomly somewhere. The last few ones have been in the backyard. So Kojo's like, right, we'll get a bunch of men on the lineup and Dave's going to headline. But we'll get there, Dave's just like, I want to host. So we're all kind of going up one by one to perform like and whatnot.
Like,
And
tell a joke.
come on, perform. No, perform. Like, do your
Okay.
sets.
Okay.
Yeah, and
For Dave.
for like on this lineup with Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had the gig of my life that night, bro. Like,
Nice.
yeah, it's your hero. He's hosting. He's bringing you on stage. Nothing's going to get me more
Yeah.
on my day. Do you know what I mean? And I've always had this thing that, people say don't meet your heroes. My thing has never been don't meet your heroes. I just want to meet them the way I want to meet them.
Okay.
So like Chappelle, for example, he's come over bare times and had parties. And I just never gone. I could have gone, but I'm like, why am I meeting you in a rave, bro?
Yeah, I want to meet you.
I want to test I want you to see my game. So this was like,
I like that.
an ideal moment. Go and
Yeah.
perform, gig of my life. I'll never forget, he comes back on to take the mic from me. Man hug, he whispers in my ear, he's like, yo, you fucking killed it, man. I walk off like I could have cried the hush. So then after the show now, I'm just like, I just want to get a video with us in the thing. As soon as I get on the video, he's like, yo, you were amazing. You are amazing. And I'm just like, bro, you inspired me, bro, in this game. So the times after that, he's doing a tour, like a proper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get the call up to support him on tour.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, 3 nights back to back. And it's like, it's a dream come true moment, but it's also like a real defining moment mentally for me as a comic. Because you get used to saying he's the GOAT. It's a godlike comic. But when you watch man before the show, he's a little bit nervous. After the show, he comes on
He's
stage,
human.
he goes to
Yeah.
his brethren, he goes, yo, how was that? And you're thinking, brother, you're fucking Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
He's like, yeah, was that? Was the rhythm good? And I'm looking at it, I think to myself, right, yeah, actually, you are human, bro. You're great because of the way you spent your days. So, okay, I'm on my journey. I can achieve that. That's what that gave me.
That's so cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why, like, I go to New York quite a bit now, I said to Dave, I was like, afterwards, I was like, bro, like, talk to me about how to level up. I don't want no handouts. I want to know the journey. He just said to me, go to New York. He goes, there's comics that make it from other places, but New York is the place I've always seen it work. So now I'm like, okay, that's a part of the setup.
Sick.
I got to go. And it's like, I remember when I was out for the New York Comedy Festival last November, that was the week he was doing the SNL performance. And it's something about watching legends be humble enough to really work hard to get something right. This guy was at the Comedy Cellar. There's like 4 different rooms, and I'm like in the bar, and there's like, you see the camera, there's like 4 screens of all the different rooms that are going on with comedy. And you watch Dave Chappelle at that one, at that one, at that one, at that one, on rotation, getting this set right for SNL. And I'm looking at it, I think to myself, this man is considered the GOAT worldwide, but he's still putting in that hustle. And I look at certain guys who just like, they blow up and don't gig like that. They don't really, they show up when it's tour time. And I'm like, that level of humility is why this guy is the greatest. So yeah, seeing it up close, it's changed my game, man. Big time.
Sticking on Dave Chappelle for a second. The type of comic that he is, it connects to the world differently, right? Because sometimes you're watching him and it's like you're watching him commenting or commentating on world affairs, right? And social injustice and this, that, and the next. And obviously trying to find humor or comedy in those particular pockets, like it's the most dangerous, right? Because at any point in time, the world can decide to just switch off. Is that why he might be anxious before?
No. I reckon the anxiety that I'm speaking of is the nerves that comics go through before you go on stage. You just don't imagine somebody who is as accomplished and is like goated the way he is goes through those same things. You imagine at this point, you know it's going to be good though, but those nerves keep you honest.
I think every performer goes through that though, no?
That I understand that part, right? But I'm now looking to stoke or poke a possible bear with this particular set. Him coming back afterwards and then asking his friend, how was that? What did you place that down to? You're just saying it's still humility?
What I say is, in that moment, I have that process with certain people. Certain people I'll ask, how was that performance? Because some people will come up to you and they don't really know the difference. Hey, that was sick, bro. And I'm like, no, because minute 13 to 16, I didn't feel like I had the same grip on the audience. I'm talking to someone who's watching it like that. So that's what I put that down to. But again, it's that thing of, right, this is Lionel Messi, fam. Asking you how was the game. Do you see what I'm saying? There's only certain eyes and certain ears you go to for that opinion.
I mean, it's fantastic that I'm getting, I guess, like a an insider's view on how that could be interpreted. But in my mind, if he's not pushing the bar each time he goes out, he is doing himself and his purpose a disservice, because he's already clocked everything, right? And for those people who have reached that particular level and still have a thirst for getting back up there, it needs to be more than just how well did it come across. It needs to be, is this going to now push conversation online?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Dave Chappelle is that, like, you know, you can't hold him to the metrics of, say, you know, a younger comic in terms of, like, was that funny? Because, like you say, he's got to push certain things a bit further. But it's also, it's with every show with Chappelle these days, it's not just did you laugh, it's did you think about something, did you challenge something? But that can't be your objective to do that, because then you start to do clickbait stuff and you start to do stuff where you come out just to push a demographic and decide you want to have smoke with them. Like, you can't always subscribe to did I push this forward? Did I change the world somehow? It can't always be that. There's still got to be that honest part where it's like, well, this is what I felt in this moment and that's what I gave the world.
I hear how you frame that, but I didn't mean it like that. As in, he's looking for conversation just to remain relevant. In my mind, he has one of the most important platforms for discussion, right? It's kind of like the last bastion of free speech, right? And even then, people are trying to remove comics from that particular responsibility. So he knows what is at stake each time he goes up there. And he still decides to go where a lot of people are afraid to go. Do you understand? So when I suggest that it's, all right, is this going to stoke the conversation that puts the needle back to where it should be? That's what I'm more so talking about, not for clickbait agendas.
Thing is, the world is changing. The world is changing, and a lot of comics sometimes, you know, especially of a certain age, struggle to adapt to the temperature of how things are different and kind of just resist it. And that becomes their new viewpoint on comedy. You can't say anything anymore. And then it kind of it's that thing. Whereas with Dave, you got a guy who's pretty much saying, I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
You can't, Dave Chappelle cancelled himself first when he walked away from the Chappelle show. So you're not dealing with a normal guy. He knows that I'm not regular like these men. There is no cancelling me. So with he kind of comes, he's the displayment of real freedom, realistically, 100%. In terms of a space where men think they can get you like that. He's letting you know, bro, try it then. I'll be first. You can't mess with that guy.
Do you revert other comics that have from like different demographics and that? Like, if you was around Ricky Gervais, Peter Kay,
Frankie Boyle,
Jimmy Carr,
them types.
What are you like? Is it the same? Are you looking? Not obviously not looking at the same as Dave Chappelle, but I'm saying, is it the same kind of thing?
Thing is, it's because I guess the cause that gets tied to it gives people how they're going to respond to it. Because sometimes you look at someone that's got a mad joke and it's just nuts, and you just think, right, you didn't need to say any of that, fam. Do you know what I mean? It's just a nasty, crude joke just to push the boundaries. But at the same time, you still have to applaud the integrity of the fact you wanted to go out there and be on that madness. But with Dave, it feels like there's a cause, a righteous cause in the midst of it. So we're talking about, you know, racial kind of, you know, dynamics and things that are at play at all times. If your thing is tied to that, you got madness linked to that, but the root is that thing, that allows people to go, right, you're moving something forward. Whereas you get some comics who are just wild and it's for no reason other than mayhem.
I feel like Ricky's like a mixture, because sometimes there is a message behind the things that he's saying, and sometimes I feel like he just wakes up and is like, I want to be an arsehole today.
Yeah.
I'm going to be one. Okay, there you have it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
His biggest problem is he's atheist.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But that's the thing though. But because I listen to some things, I was like, you don't have to say that. You can be you can live your best atheist life. We didn't have to say all of that stuff. You didn't have to go there. And not because I'm a Christian, because I hear him say jokes about some other things as well, like other areas of life, disabilities, transfer, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, not necessary.
But it's a button for you.
Yeah, but the thing is, what makes it funny though, or what makes it quote unquote funny, is that it's not because there's actually a joke in there. It's his attitude of, I'm an arsehole, I don't care. That attitude of I don't care is what people are laughing at, not because what you've said is actually funny.
Sometimes you get comics who take it upon themselves to piss off a certain demographic because they're considered untouchable.
Oh, yeah.
So
He loves that.
Do you think Ricky Gervais is funny?
Yeah, yeah, he is
But
funny.
I think it's funny though because
I'm not gonna be like every one of his jokes bang, but it's like, yeah, he's a funny comic. He's a very funny comic.
Shows. I love his. There's one he's got on what's it called? Netflix. Is it Life After Death or something like that?
The sitcom about
But even with because I watched him in The Office. Love The Office. Love it down. Extras. Watch that as well. Like, and I've seen stuff that he's been a co-writer on as well. Love it. And Life After Death. I liked it because it showed me a different side to him because it was funny, but it was so deep. That show broke me. It was so sad. Like just the themes that it was exploring, like trigger warning, like suicide, all that kind of stuff. It was so sad. Do you get what I mean? But so I think it's funny. It's just sometimes need to be an arsehole is just stronger than anything else. But I was gonna say as well. You definitely live your rap because I watched Rum Punch.
Yeah.
The filming of it, and I remember one of the things that you said that really stuck with me. And I remember talking about it on the show when I came back and talked about it. Was how you said that for you, it didn't, your whole thing wasn't trying to be I'm the first black person to do so. I'm the first person. And I thought that was very, very, that's such a humble thing to do because I feel like in the world we live in and in so many, spaces and just, I think human nature is always that thing about an accomplishment. Like humans crave accomplishing things. You crave having some kind of purpose, having some kind of goal, feeling like I've left my print on the world in this way. And it was so humbling. Like, it was so nice to hear you say that your focus isn't about being the first person to do this, which is why the people that you worked with them. That I think there's someone from like Desmond's. And
that's right.
Patricia you were like, I want to work because these people are amazing.
Yeah.
And had they not been amazing, it wouldn't have opened the door for me to then go on and do that. And I just thought that was absolutely amazing. Have you always had that mindset?
Yeah, definitely. Like, and it comes from really respecting the history of the craft that you're in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing is like, on great shoulders we stand. Do you know what I'm saying? Trix Worrell was the creator of Desmond's. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And Patricia Alcott, she's one of the writers from Desmond's and she's my script editor for this script I wrote. Even in the cast, Eddie Nestor from Real McCoy. Like, tapping into those things and just respecting it because I feel like, especially with black comedy, our history doesn't get respected. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't get respected. There's a lot of things that have happened before that weren't documented. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a whole archive of comedy shows that Billy Connolly's done, but you wouldn't know the hours that my mum, Angela Marr's done, Curtis Walker's done, Miles Crawford, Jefferson and Whitfield. These guys have existed. There's so many chapters and waves. It's only the ones that cut through that we'll say the names, like Lenny Henry and Gina and all this kind of stuff, and we'll just pretend like nobody else was moving and shaking. So that's the kind of my gripe with certain things, and a lot of accessibility is to do with that. But I'm not gonna expect anybody to respect our history if I don't. So for me to come and present like I've just started on the first, that's a slap in the face to a lot of things that happened before. Like, if I was to get my own show, for example, my own sketch show on BBC One, Felix Dexter deserved a sketch show, didn't get one. Now, that's, if you don't acknowledge his journey and what he did to allow you to kind of get to that space, we're doing weird things. And I just think that's why it's really about honouring the legacies that come before, because when I start to do it, you have to do it if you support me. So that's kind of why I'm really
another compliment though. So I hope compliments don't make you uncomfortable.
No,
I love to give them.
Let it run, fam.
But let it run. I love that. But like, even when we're talking about the younger comedians, and some of them on TikTok, some of them on Twitter, some of them on all these things as well. I was so happy when I saw Face in the News there. So because I think she's so talented. And so funny. Like, I love her content. I love everything she does. So it was so nice. So again, when you spoke earlier about like supporting and like you're true to what it is that you're saying, but I know that even for her, it must have been amazing for her to be in a room and be on a show with other legends. Like, I can't imagine how she must have felt.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Face in the News. I find her content
funny.
hilarious. Like, I have done for time. Like, with this project, I wrote all these characters with everybody in mind. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So her character was always her. Do you know what I mean? All my pitch decks when I'm talking to people about the project, her name was in it. I'm having to explain who she is. I'm like, no, just trust me. She's got this role. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so random. I DM'd a few years ago when there was like potential for the project to happen then. And I was like, oh, I got this thing. And a few years later, I'm DMing again. And that's like the last convo we had. I'm like, oh, by the way, it's happening now. She was like, right, yeah, she came back.
That's it.
But like, I definitely, really, I rate Face in the News highly. I find her hilarious, man.
She is so funny.
Don't make the devil roll you.
She is so funny, man. She's too funny. But with that, that's interesting. You said that you had messaged her like years ago. So when did you start?
You seen the one where she was doing the, when they started doing the TikTok? She was there in the blonde wig.
Yeah. You know what she's dancing in the road?
I think I probably would have seen
Bruv.
it. I binge her stuff. Like
This
I
one here.
don't go on TikTok for a while, then I go and I watch it again.
I ain't seen it. Finn is too funny.
She's
just
mad,
too funny.
bruv. Yeah, no, Facing the News
Wait for
has
her.
to play this
Yeah.
100%.
But then when did you write it? So it's called Rum Punch. Anyone
Rum
doesn't
Punch.
know BBC Sounds.
That's right, yeah.
When did you write it?
It's been a writing process that's probably been about 3.5 years.
What is it? A sketch show?
No, sitcom.
The sitcom.
Sitcom, Black Family
What, audio?
sitcom. Yeah.
My mind was blown because basically I love a sitcom.
Sorry,
Like,
what? Audio?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, right? So let me tell you
second.
guys. Let me take you there.
One second.
Let me take you there. Do you want me to take you there? Let me-
So I can't watch this.
No, you listen to it. But
You can.
when you listen to
Your
it,
mind's
it's like you're. No, honestly,
Trust me.
it's like that.
You watched it.
I was there at the filming of it. I didn't watch it. Well, I watched them.
recording.
I can record it. So basically, right? Because I love a sitcom, right? Sitcom's my favorite thing to watch.
Lad, bro.
But when you're in there, exactly, let me take you there. So when you're there, you got the actors on the stage, right? All of them are there. Everyone's got the script. Everyone's ready to go, right? However, so it's based in a Caribbean shop, it's a family-owned Caribbean restaurant, takeaway, right? But when it's time for Travis to do his line, he walks up. What do you hear? The door, and you know the little dingy bell that goes off in a Caribbean shop. You hear that. So when you're listening to it, you're able to you have the vision. You can see everything playing out in your mind
Okay.
because you got all the sound effects. You got every single thing.
What made you do this?
So basically, you know, a lot of people kind of. So this is BBC Radio 4.
Yeah.
And sorry, when I say did this, I mean like the audio
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
the
yeah.
visual.
Instead of visual, yeah.
So with a lot of ideas like this, right? They start, especially with BBC, they start on BBC Radio 4 before going to TV.
Okay.
And I'm not too sure why that's the ecosystem for a lot of the, comedy. Some stuff goes straight to TV. Do you know what I mean? That was, I'll be transparent, that was the plan. Do you know what I mean? But you go in this process, and I think maybe being someone who doesn't have a track record of TV work and stuff like that, you think, okay, go over there. And writing for radio was something that really strengthened my writing because you're doing it blind. Do you know what I mean? I've got to set the scene and capture your imagination just with the script and the strength of the script.
You did that.
So thank you. So yeah, that's kind of what led us down this route.
Say that's the process. All right, so you're just doing the
Yeah,
work.
that's right. Yeah, just doing the work.
Proof of concept.
That's it.
That's it,
Just
yeah.
doing
That's
the work.
it.
So it's going to TV then.
Absolutely. Well, that's the plan. We're in that
Amen.
process. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear no more.
This is it, man. And yeah, it's been a journey, man, because you get used to watching stuff, right? And I guess as a comic, you watch TV and think, right, we should be up there, man. We should be doing our thing. How comes we don't?
Absolutely.
And you start realizing how much work really
to get
goes
there.
into this stuff.
So
and
what happens if they
these
go
shows.
to TV but they want to change the characters? What do you do there with your cast and that?
Oh, with the cast?
Yeah.
Oh, then we got to have the conversation. I got to fight for everybody
the
I
same
believe in.
characters but recast them, I mean.
Yeah, that's up to me to fight for the guys I believe in.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? I got to make.
Some people might have, when someone's got like a face for the radio.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Like, TV might not be your story.
I think you
Really.
nowhere.
Nah, fortunately, I don't have that
it's
problem
true
with this one.
Don't
But I
repeat
know what
it.
you mean.
Don't. I heard you.
Yeah.
I heard what you said. just shocked. Right.
That's it. Face for the radio.
Face for the radio.
Nah, everybody in this
Gosh.
cast is presentable. Fam.
Amen to that.
What was it like getting it commissioned though? Like, what's the process?
Yeah, you pitch the idea
cool.
to people and hopefully they buy in. Do you know what I'm saying? So shouts out to Julia at BBC, man, because she was on board. Do you know what I mean? From the get go, it was like right, invested, contributing ideas and kind of
Sick.
helping moving this thing come to vision. So yeah, man, it's a really exciting journey to be on, especially when you start to look into the history. Do you know what I mean? So again, like you see, I'm a bit of a traditionalist with like how I studied the game. Like I always go back
Yeah.
because we didn't just get here.
land
Do
it,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of stuff has happened before this moment. So I like to study that to see how my thing will fit in the game and hopefully move the thing forward.
Was it? Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was gonna say, was there anything you had to change? Because I always imagine black creatives having to pitch to white-owned companies, right? And especially if it's a black show, we talked about this with Ajani, with Dreaming Whilst Black, and having to like let them understand it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when it's British stuff and whatever else, there's never a thing of let's try and get the blacks to understand this joke or whatnot. But when it's like black stuff, it's like, yeah, but how are you gonna reach this audience and this audience? Was that the case with this?
I think there's a lot of freedom because I was pitching a world that I knew better than anybody else in the room.
Yeah.
I'm not guessing these characters. I'm like, I know these people. So, it's kind of hard to tell me to tone this guy down when I'm like, no, that's who he is. And I'm also very big on things being authentic because you know how we watch shows and we're more critical than anybody else.
We know you when you're
who have you ever seen do that? And it's like, bro, why have you got that's to show up like this, bro? Do you know what I mean? But I was making sure that we were ready to present so that nobody could come and poke holes in your authenticity. Do you know what I mean? And I think fortunately they trusted me in the process. Do you know what I mean? My producer, shouts out Jules. Daisy, do you know what I mean? My manager, Kath. And it's like with my guy, Jules, there's times we were going back and forth. Like there's a line in there where there's an Ask Carlos in there.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't know what that meant. I said, brother, let that
But
land.
we laughed. The audience laughed. The audience got it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's amazing because that's what Ajani said. I think it really is that. I feel like it's rooted in you being confident in who you are.
Yeah.
Because Ajani said the same thing of you can't tell me what the story is when it's my story. And I think that's really what I think. If you walk into a room, if I do this in like lesser things, I always say this in lesser things. I say when I want to ask my mom something, like if I walk in there with confidence, that she can't shake me on what it is I want to do because I know what it is I want to do. And I feel like it can be the same thing with pitching stuff. If you're walking in there with confidence, they can't poke holes because you've already got the answers for whatever it is that you might think you want to ask me. But that's amazing.
Yeah. And that's why, like, when I was going back to the beginning when you talked about, what's your inspiration for writing?
Yeah.
I try to write truth, write what I live, because it's not what I said on the paper is the answer. You ask me and I'll tell you what the answer is because it's from me.
It's from me,
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if it's a world I've researched and I've tapped in, I'll go back to my notes to answer your question. And that's where you start to realize, okay, there's no real root in here. And I think that authenticity is what is coming across in the feedback that I've heard so far. So
yeah, 100. It definitely, it does show. And I think the casting as well. I spoke about the casting when I spoke about the show.
Yeah.
Perfect. KG is so
KG's elite,
funny.
Man.
Because he kept having to re-record his lines here. It was just too funny. It was just so funny. The time when he thought he was done, they were like, "No, man." When he was like, "Oh, man," it was too funny. It was a really, really good experience. Like, it was actually really cool to just see it audio, but then it feels so alive because you got all the right sounds. You got the wind blowing. You got the van, a van that's driving on the road outside. Like, so detailed.
Yeah.
So detailed.
Yeah. And it's that thing of like, especially recording in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
The stakes are always high when it's live. Do you know what I mean? And I think comedy belongs in that.
Yeah.
Do I know KG?
Shadrach. Yeah.
Okay.
Abednego.
They are
legendary.
That is quality
Legends, bruv.
What's Abednego again?
Marston.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Elite. So like I was saying, writing for like the live experience.
Yeah.
It's the same stakes as stand up, but with your script format. And I think that's where comedy really is. Like all our favorite sitcoms are all studios.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I want to step into that space.
Were you nervous? Like, were you nervous in the way that you've been nervous?
Even more so.
Stand-up? Really?
Oh, even more so. Because it's different, it's new. I don't know if I'm good at this yet. Like, it's that thing and you're presenting to an audience who could just sit there in silence and be like, let's try it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want the clap for the attempt.
For the sake of it?
No.
I'll be real with you, because I thought that, right? So, obviously, remember at the start, you were like, if we're going to laugh, project it because we're trying to hear an audio and stuff like that. But then I was just like, because I remember my friend, I was like, yeah, but what if it's not funny? Like, I don't want to sit here and laugh.
And you're performing.
Like, now I'm performing. Sorry, where's my check? Kind of thing. I was like, I don't want to be sitting here performing. But every time people laughed, it was like, it was genuine. Do you get what I mean? And you can feel that in the way the laughter was. It wasn't like a monotone.
Yeah.
You know when you're laughing and then there's one person who's still, or who's just caught on after we've caught on kind of thing. Yes, it was very natural. Yeah.
And that's just the experience you want. I want people who actually come to the recordings to feel like, yo, this is a proper night out.
Yeah, it was really
capture.
Fun. So much fun.
Do you feel like a comedian's success is kind of capped if they don't learn how to transition into acting?
Ooh, good question.
No, not necessarily. Dave Chappelle is not really known for his films.
That is true.
Do you see what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy is a blueprint.
No, half baked. Are you crazy?
Yeah, but as in being known for his
I'm gonna
films.
say,
Like,
I don't know one Dave Chappelle film.
You don't know what Half Baked is?
Okay, do you want to ask me a third time thinking he's gonna prompt me? I don't know. No, I don't know.
That's true. It's not
This
many.
is why people get called uncultured swine.
No. Don't call me uncultured. I'm a young babe. You want to go there? Let's go there. I grew up on Kevin Hart.
yeah, so I think obviously with the Eddie Murphy blueprint, Kevin Hart has followed with that as well. Chris Rock's got a good handful of movies as well. I don't want to disrespect and say handful. He's done movies as well.
I've never watched his stand up there.
And animations. and all
Animation,
that.
yeah.
I love Madagascar. It's one of my favorite films.
But like with the UK and the movies, the connect isn't so strong. You see what I mean? So that's still something that needs to be kind of built. We don't really have a long range of UK films in that way. So yeah, I mean it's a natural thing for a lot of people, but it's not like a benchmark for a standard comic if that's what he wants to be.
You know how people say like with R&B, for example, R&B singers have to cross over to America to make it. Do you feel like that's kind of the same? Because when we're talking about this now, with America, yes, they do stand up. Then you see them have a little cameo in like a sitcom or like in a film, and then before you know it, they could different whole career. But in the UK, it's not like that. So do you think why do you think that is? Do you think it's opportunities here? Do you think it's the people receiving it?
You can exist here as a star here.
Yeah.
And you do well, you'll make M's, like you live well.
Yeah.
But there's a global access that happens with America.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We as a planet, we subscribe to the US form of entertainment. So there's that whole thing of wanting to take on America. And you know, people have done their thing, like, you know, Gina's out there, London Hughes is out there. Do you know what I mean? Kojo's making some moves out there as well. Like, so it's one of those things where it appeals. Like the times I've performed out there, being warmly received, and I consider New York to be like the mecca of comedy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's such a deep history of black comedy out there. There's someone, you know what I mean, shouts out to Michael Williams, Comedy Planet. That's probably considered one of the first black comedy clubs in America. So it's like, I'm in touch with him. Do you know what I mean? I kind of, you know, having good conversation with him. So it's like, again, typical me, I go back, you know, doing all that stuff. But America is massive. So
That's the thing. You just keep comparing England to America. They do
It's
it with
hard.
the music as well. It's a totally different. There's a totally different
We've got
market share
52
there.
states over there, and this is so much. It's so much. Yeah, it's
Do you know
way
what I'm
too
saying?
much.
So just with the black comics and that, like with the amount of people, like black people that make up the country, the numbers ain't there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like that, even that pathway that the Americans have from the stand up, then
Yeah, to
getting a
like TV
sitcom,
and all that
TV
kind of
and
stuff.
all
Yeah,
that. It's harder to do. It's harder to do over here because
there's not many
like
of
the
us,
popular,
John.
but there's not many of us in it.
Yeah.
Because if you go to like, it's a white country. If you look at white examples of it, they kind of do the same thing. Maybe not with the movies, but like Ricky Gervais, Peter Kay, they've all had sitcoms on primetime TV and all that. Jimmy Carr runs
And to add to that,
an 8 out of 10 Cats and all these other shows and all that. So the white guys actually get a shot. They do it.
Yeah.
but I mean, to add to that, it's one of those things where for a long time that narrative is what they used to kind of hold black comics back, to say, oh, Middle England's not going to get you. That's what they were selling to the last eras of comic. Whereas now we're showing that that's cap.
But don't you think
When
you
you
have
go
to
to the
water the
shows,
thing down though? Because Mo gets love from Middle England, but Mo also has to change his style. He also has to.
Thing is, it's one of those things where it's like it's gonna be how you do it. Like for me, I travel up and down the country and I don't change my style. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I will formulate my jokes in a way. If you're not from where I'm from, you're gonna get this joke. But the ones who are from where they're from, it might hit harder for them.
You're gonna actually
But
get the joke,
it comes to you to kind of doing a bit more of the work. Like you can just switch up your stuff and essentially code switch. Do you know what I'm saying? But essentially what I'm saying, that's like when we're talking about therapy and all that kind of stuff, dropping that off and connecting with people in a very different way.
Do you
Like
think you can get to Mo's level without code switching?
I don't think it's about getting to Mo's level, because Mo's success is a very unique journey to his success, that as like a combination of the viral success and the presenting stuff and kind of going down that route. It's not necessarily just stand up that put him there. Whereas, you know, I'm on a path. That's why I don't envy nobody. Do you see what I'm saying? I look at people and I'm like, you've carved out a wonderful thing for you, but I don't want that picture, because that's not, I would have to do those things and that's not really what I'm on. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, when I perform in these clubs, I go to some random nooks and crannies in this country, bro. My mileage on my car, like 40,000 miles or something. I'm really driving to these clubs. But when I get into these rooms, it'd be a sea of white faces. But the same way I perform in London to demand them is how I perform there. And what I've found is we're way more alike than we are unalike. Because when you come and you talk your stuff, they sit there and they go, yeah, nah, hey, it is what it is. There's a version of me in your culture that's same energy. So
Go on.
yeah,
Sorry. When you said we are more alike, are you talking about white people?
I'm talking about everybody. We're more alike than we are unalike.
As human beings.
knew it. My phone's ringing up.
What do you mean?
No, I heard what you said. I understood it because it was English, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about the stories that you tell.
Mm-hmm.
They understand it. Hence you saying, they understand it, then we're like,
No, I'm talking about our shared experiences.
Yeah.
So my experience when I'm talking about certain things, the pockets of stuff that I want to talk about,
yeah,
I'm connecting wherever I go.
yeah.
So this is my opinion from me on the ground in front of people.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying we are more alike than we're unalike, you don't laugh to stuff you don't necessarily relate to or understand. Not always. That's what it hits in a different way.
Fair enough. I mean, a lot of stereotypes and prejudice also goes into the fact that you find something funny. So if you're touching on those particular touch points,
Yeah, if you're
It's unprofessional to get you to repeat that, innit? Because I was so invested, I wanted to hear what was being said, and I got distracted.
Basically, Travis says that we are more alike than unalike. So like when he goes to white clubs, white spaces where they understand the joke, blah blah. Brent disagrees.
Yeah, I know that.
no, I
just
was
wanted to watch-
asking a
I wanted to watch it
question.
play out.
my
I
bad.
didn't disagree. I just found it. I want you to elaborate on it.
Okay.
Because I could understand, because I watch Ricky Gervais and I'm bending up, and he's going all over the gaff with his stories, right? And I don't need to relate to the things that he's saying because I have my own opinion or understanding.
But you can just appreciate it's funny.
100%.
Yeah.
So I want to know how you were able to make that statement because it's a salient statement, right?
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying when I say we're more alike than we're unalike, is in you like I can go into a club and be my authentic self, not need to change who I am in order to connect to this audience. Connecting it's one of those things you can just watch and go, haha, that's funny. That's just a random thing. But the type of comedy I'm doing when I'm talking about my life, my experiences, my family, my dynamics, my marriage, these are elements where I'm connecting with people who are coming to tell me afterwards, right, that's like my cousin is and these people want to they're almost like they want to reaffirm like, you're right, like I really understood your thing. It's a surprise for them certain times in the moment. So when I'm saying we're more alike than we're unalike, bro, I don't need to change myself to exist as a stand-up comic. I can be me authentically to the point where you, as the black demographic, are looking at me and saying, yeah, Trav's keeping that same energy wherever he goes. Because if you're watching, there's a disconnect that happens, and sometimes like men feel like we've got to change ourselves to exist in the mainstream space. And there's a disconnect that happens with my core fan base when they go, yeah, he's changed, man. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want that for me. So I'm gonna go through the difficult route of potentially being misunderstood on the big stage, because I'm not going to change myself. I'm going to make sure you adapt to my thing as opposed to me trying to be something else.
Cool.
So
Someone in the chat is basically
that's my baton to carry.
Someone in the chat is basically agreeing with you, basically saying, look, Travis's stand-up is not cheesy or just laughing at our own culture, so it cuts through properly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it all kind of ties in some way. Like when I talk about respecting our legacy and history, I'm not going to present it for you to laugh at it when I'm in a different when I'm in a different room. And it's that journey that, you know, comics go through where first of all you start doing what you think works and then you find your own voice. And I remember an older comic saying to me, it might happen in year 6 or year 7 of your journey. And weirdly enough,
It did.
it's exactly when it happened. Where you start realizing, right, like I'm coming to be me, find my voice and my message, and I'm not presenting the culture for you to laugh at.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you some of the culture so you understand this joke and we move forward. Because you know what I mean, there's a lot of loaded things that can happen, and you're creating problems down the line. You look at Dave Chappelle's story with the Chappelle Show. There's a whole thing of like you're laughing, you're bringing the in jokes of the culture to the world stage, and man, I look at you going, "Do the crackhead thing that you do," and you're thinking, "This is a room full of white people laughing at this." I don't like what I'm doing. Yeah. So there's a lot of elements to juggle with this comedy stuff.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, my worst, I hate when I see stuff that's like, cause I'm Nigerian. I hate seeing comedy that's like a caricature of like Nigerian mums or Nigerian dads or like African accents, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Grinds my gears.
Yeah, when the accent
not
is the
funny.
joke, it kind of is a bit damaging because now you're laughing
Like
at.
you're taking a piss. You're laughing at them. You're not laughing. You know what I mean? Like, because there's so many other people that are funny because they talk about their experiences as a Nigerian kid and how strict your parents are. Like, there's so many of that kind of comedy. But when you have to put the accent on and when you have to put on a poor wig and think that, and you feel like presenting this way is what makes it funny. No, you just look corny and it just looks get off the stage, man.
It's because they're directly laughing at you, innit? It's like you're saying, there's no substance in it. There's no punchline. There's no joke.
There's nothing,
So the joke is the bad wig,
It's the culture.
The way he
the,
talks.
the accent, the whatnot. So you're directly saying that I'm funny, like, I'm funny, I'm a joke. Whereas it could have been someone from that culture that say like in Dreaming Whilst Black,
Yeah.
the auntie who wanted the video
Oh, yeah,
taken.
yeah.
She was funny.
No, she was hilarious.
You know what
She
I'm
was
saying?
just...
But
That's
it's
a
because
well-written character.
yeah, it's because she was funny. We weren't laughing at her dress or her accent.
That's right.
Or nothing like
Yeah.
that. We were laughing at her because she's
And
funny.
mannerisms of like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I will tell you what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? It's like those stuff like that because you can, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so these are the, and this is the thing. This is not like something I hold to every comic. This is my route. This is how I look at certain things. My baton to carry. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to beat comics over the head.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
it doesn't sound like
Everyone's
that.
on their different journey, different time they'll find their voice.
It sounds like you've grown in your own journey, and now you know what you're doing, and this is where you're at. So it doesn't sound like you're beating anyone up, no. Not at all.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give to somebody who's up and coming, who just like you said one day, you know what, to your mom, to your parents, I want to be a comic. Like, where do you start?
Hit the clubs, hit the comedy clubs. You know what I mean? Get your 5 minutes together and grind your ass off, bro. Like pause, mad pause. But it's one of them ones where this thing is it's a rough road. Listen,
Not you
the game's the game, fam.
There's a pause epidemic going on.
But no, this is a difficult craft. It's a
Yeah.
difficult craft. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Like, it's difficult. You're going to have some rough nights, but keep showing up, keep coming back. Do you know what I mean? And eventually, overnight, you'll find your voice. You'll find out who you are in this space, and you'll be able to move forward. And there's every voice that needs to be heard. I remember Chappelle saying, for every opinion that exists, there's a comedian fighting for it. Do you know what I mean? So come out, study the game, study the craft, get to know what people are doing, and you know what I mean? Find your way.
How do you look at other people as inspiration and not make it a thing where you start to compare yourself to them or start to feel like you're behind or anything like that?
I'm a competitive guy.
Okay.
So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not. I'll look at you doing your thing and immediately it's smoke. Do you know what I'm saying? That gets me going.
Yeah.
I relate to the sickos that we see in them documentaries on Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. Like, I named my son Kobe Bryant. Like, I named him after Kobe Bryant. Sorry, his name's Kobe.
I'll say.
And it's that thing of like, I like people who operate like that.
Yeah.
I'm a cold dude. Like KG, you'll meet him and it's like night and day with how different we are. Like, he's such a happy-go-lucky, like, right, let's celebrate. Do you know what I mean? We do something and complete a milestone. I'm like, all right, next one, let's go. So when I see
And he's
people
like, "Can we
doing
just
things,
celebrate that?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. So I like to, when I see people doing really well, I root for them because I'm like, bro, we were literally side by side in the beginning, but we're on different journeys now, and I'm here to do my thing. So when it's time for us to sit down and have a drink and do a round table convo about our journeys, we'll sit down and really give flowers. But for now, I'm very competitive. I remember seeing, shouts out Dane Baptiste, man, that's my bro. I remember seeing Dane Baptiste do Live at the Apollo, and like, I was on a good run at the time, but I remember seeing it thinking, right, he's there. It's one of the men that's there. Sick. Showing, I had so much love for the moment. Next day, you couldn't keep me at the comedy clubs. I was like, okay, cool. Man, them can do this. So we got to be on our job. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether or not that specific opportunity comes for me is one way or the other, but
It's possible.
the levels now, we got to raise
Yeah.
it. So yeah, I in a sick, toxic way, but in a productive way, I look at other people's success as a challenge and I'm like, hey, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Because this ecosystem, it helps. It helps.
Are you the best?
Yeah, yeah.
Period.
All right.
All right, that'll do it.
That's my journey, bro. You know what I mean? If I'm but Dave Chappelle, and after that, I'm pushing, bro. So
I'm just talking about in the UK, to be honest.
I don't care.
That was wild.
I'll back myself
We
in
want him
any.
to come back.
I'll back myself on any lineup, bro. I don't
Do you like
care.
Shane Gillis?
I do. I'm still new to him. Like I'm not gonna pretend like I was tapped in on what he's doing, but he's blowing up in the clips I've seen. Guy's fire, man.
They're moving like he's the white Dave Chappelle.
Cold.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? They're pushing him. They're saying he's like the new Great White Hope. They're saying he's the truth, like the coldest. That's how they're moving.
UK, yeah?
No,
American.
American. Okay.
The
He
clips
done
I've
it
seen, he's fire, man.
SNL the other night. So he went on Saturday Night Live, and then before he even got a chance to even do anything on the show, they had to sack him because he got cancelled because he was said. I think he used the word like chink on his podcast or something like that.
Wow.
So they found it, tried to thing it, and then he got sacked after Saturday Night Live, like without even making an appearance. And then 2 years later, he's just gone. They had to call him back. He just hosted it. Cancel culture.
See, that's the thing. Cancel culture is such a phony, man. I just think it's silly.
it's real and it's not real at the same time. Because some people will see one clip of you that's the first time they ever met you and decide you're cancelled. It's like, how can you stop
Well,
this
how do you
train?
know
You
me
weren't
if-
moving it.
You never even had me. How are you gonna cancel me?
That's what I mean.
It's always people who don't like you, who don't support nothing you
wanna
do, talking
cancel.
about you're cancelled.
It makes no-
That
there's
it's so
no
easy
impact.
for you not to support me and buy my shit when you never bought it before. Who you to tell me that I'm cancelled when 10,000 people are
Listen.
still here rocking with me? Like,
And that's
you know what I'm
what's
trying to
so
say?
funny.
You are
I
sick.
find that so funny because I'm just like, you were never tapped in, so that it's not gonna make a difference to their life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do you think he's like the white Dave Chappelle?
Who, Guinness? Nah, not in a sense of they're not comparable like that with the way that
So it's not
What-
warranted then.
what Dave Chappelle means. No, I don't. I'm relatively new to him as well. I'm doing more information and more research on him to see if he's actually as cold as they're saying he is. But he is good though.
He's funny, man.
He is
But
good.
there's a shift happening with stand up at the moment though. Like there's like people are craving real stand up again.
He's doing that. He's saying
Yeah.
things that he's saying things. He went on SNL TV. He's
Is it
saying
madness?
like, oh yeah, man, like he's saying like gay, retard, like the words that
It's-
people are scared to.
what,
he
after
just-
they going
he
back
just-
after 2 years of firing?
That's mad. That
no, because
You see that one?
No,
because
we're
of-
trying.
because of the way he's using it. Like it's not. He's not being offensive.
He's not offending the
if that
community
makes
like that.
sense.
Yeah.
So it's for the people that are scared and saying, "Oh, you can't say these words. You can't say these words."
Yeah.
He's showing that, like, no, like you can say that word without being offensive. if
Yeah,
that makes-
that's
like,
right,
I'm not,
that's right.
It's not derogatory. If that makes sense.
Not
You just
attacking no one.
for the
Facts.
people that are saying like, no, like you don't like the freedom of speech. People are like, no, we can just speak.
You can just talk, yeah.
You can
he's
just
doing
talk.
it,
You
innit?
just don't have to be.
Don't label me as
derogatory
hate because man said a word and addressed it. You know what I mean? There's room, and I think it comes back to the craft. There's men that are putting them hours. Them men are going to be able to operate in this space and juggle and know how to get it done. Because like this brother didn't come overnight. This guy's been out here. Shane's been on his job, so it's that thing of there is going to be a craving for a level of stand up now when we go to see our comics. I think people coming away from shows and going, it was cool. That's not going to make it no more.
Has he been able to navigate saying nigga?
Is he a white guy?
He's the white man.
What are we
Yeah.
doing here?
No, I don't think he wants to.
Oh,
Shit, eh?
I don't think he wants to.
I don't watch him, then I can't see him.
I've seen him make jokes touching on racism because he looks like a Texas kind of dance man. He looks like he could be racist. He says stuff sometimes you think, if you didn't know him, you judge a book by the cover, you think there's definitely racism in there. But he's from a multicultural background. I don't think he's racist. Because one of his things he's saying that his sisters.
racism. We've got more in common than we thought.
There you go. His sisters. I think his sister.
Let's try to come back on my.
I think his sister adopted like 3 black kids or something like that.
Okay.
So their family's diverse.
Madonna thing.
I was like, how did you know? Okay.
It's like there's a guy called Jeff Innocent. If you see this guy, if you just look at him, bald guy, Adidas tracksuit, you'd think, yeah, he's one of the racist man. Bruv, his material will catch you well off guard. He's hilarious. Like older white guy. Check him out.
You can't judge books by cover. Someone
Can't,
like Bill
you
Burr,
can't.
you would look at Bill Burr and think he's come from Middle America. You think this got to be a racist man. This is married to a black queen. You get me? So it's hard to just look.
Same with Jeff Innocent. He's married to a black woman.
queen.
Yeah.
Did Bill Burr?
Bill Burr is another one.
Did he what?
I swear he got removed. Did he come back?
Removed?
Yeah.
He
Removed
didn't
for-
cancel Bill Burr.
You can't cancel Bill Burr.
Can't cancel
But didn't
Bill.
they try to?
Bro, even if they tried,
they
it failed.
tried
I don't
to,
even
right?
need to do research.
They probably moaned about some of the things he said, but he's one of them man.
You
He's
can't-
one of them bastions.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say?
it's different. Them man will cook you on the cancelling, fam. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's so interesting, man.
He wasn't part of the Me Too stuff, was he? He wasn't
No,
caught up
he
in
ain't
that.
got no cases.
He wasn't caught up in no
He's-
nigga this, nigga that.
No, he ain't got no
Why do
scandal.
I
Bill
think that
Burr's
they tried to remove Bill Burr?
He has got a reputation because he says stuff, innit?
He's against the line, but
But it
he's-
was a big thing. And then people were just rejoicing because he's now back into the mix, innit?
I'd have to look about that. I don't know that.
Interesting.
I must have missed that.
What do you think about Andrew Schultz?
Oh yeah, he's funny, man. He's funny. I like the movement in terms of like self-funding your shows and kind of doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you
A
think
lot
about
of men
Louis
have been
CK?
on that.
That's what it is.
It might be, you know.
You are.
Yeah, 'cause
he was
there
with the
was
Me
some-
Too. He
yeah.
was. He
Yeah,
ranked
that's
on
the
the gal.
one.
Yeah. I have this problem
No,
where
never mind.
a bit mad
Never mind,
still.
never mind. No.
So,
As you were, sorry. I kind of missed what he said. Then I caught it a second
At the
after
end.
that. Then I said, we'll just leave it where it was.
You can say so.
yeah, maybe I'm not talking about CK. 'Cause
It might be
remember
Louis
that
CK
stuff.
still.
He was that Me Too stuff, right?
Yeah,
He ain't got on that.
yeah, they got him.
Interesting.
Got.
But he again, it's another one that's back. He's touring again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A low level, innit?
Obviously, we do have to wrap up soon, yeah. But I did want to ask you. Sorry to change the subject, Esther.
That's all right.
Is Canelo ducking?
That's about boxing,
That's
right?
hilarious.
Women in sports, yeah.
I think
myself.
there's a case for it,
Okay.
but at the same time, it's like it depends where he thinks he's at in his journey. If he's at the victory lap stage, yeah, you let him get away with a couple of these little weak touches,
Okay.
and then you say, okay, cool, that's your career. But if you want to keep the belts and do the lineal thing, then bro, you got to see Benavidez. You might even need to see Bivol again, bro, because taking that beating and just walking away is a bit.
But didn't he wanted to fight him though? At
Mate,
175.
he
wasn't it?
said he wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
Until that fight gets materialized, we don't know what the truth is.
This is true.
So-
Well, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I heard that before said that no, I want to fight you at 168.
He said he'll come down, and they
Yeah,
said no.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
said no. That's when it's crazy because that's you knocking on someone's door and they follow you to your yard now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
techie, bro.
And obviously, we got AJ in Ghana on the weekend.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like AJ's gonna.
No, wow, that's crazy.
I think AJ's gonna basically do what everyone thought Fury's gonna should have done.
He's
That's
going
what I
to.
think.
I reckon he's going to beat up on Ngannou.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I reckon he's going to knock him out. I know people are saying his chin. I'm like, I hear that. But the thing about getting hit over and over again, over time, over the rounds, because I didn't look at Ngannou and think, right, he outboxed Fury and da-da-da. It was a slow-paced fight. You're not going to be able to beat that slow. And if you start moving more than that, then muscles start filling up with blood. Now you're tired, fam. Do you know what I mean? It's going to get rough. So my real pick is AJKO 6 to 8 rounds.
Okay.
But
And
we'll see. I've been wrong before, so
if that does
AJ
happen,
would have watched that in Ghana. They watched the Fury fight,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why he's gonna win. Like if he done it first,
He coulda caught him.
He could have caught
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
slipping. But after watching that Fury fight, he said, and now he took it. He said, no chance. So he's gonna go into that fight
they're locked in on what my man does well.
properly. So because he's a top boy and he's going there training like this is a heavyweight title fight, he's gonna cook him up. You know what I'm trying to say? Whereas Fury didn't do that. Fury,
He went in blind.
yeah, Fury.
No
you
data.
could see that where that camp was a joke. Fury walked in there as a joke. If Fury walked in there as prime Fury, he would have cooked him up.
yeah.
So I think that's what saved AJ.
Yeah, and people do underestimate what it's like when you got data on someone. Like boxing at that level, bro. With the right game plan, you can beat someone you ain't supposed to beat. So
100%.
yeah,
Literally 2 minutes ago.
I see AJ getting it done, man.
There's gonna be one other question I can't remember now.
Who's
Take
taking
care,
it,
bro.
Esther?
The guy that took it last time. Whatever y'all think, I like it.
Who've you got? Fury or Usyk?
I feel like Fury should win. All the attribute, but it's just a case of whether or not his legs are gone. I feel like his legs are done, and I think Usyk's punch output is going to be the real difference in this fight. That guy's going to hit Fury more than he's ever been hit, and over points, over 12 rounds, I reckon he gets it done. So yeah, I'd probably say this. I don't even know where the safe money is because Fury can do some stuff sometimes where it's like that's why he's him. So yeah, we'll see, man. But I want Usyk to win.
Oh, serious?
I don't like Fury.
Serious?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. I don't like Fury as a person, as a man.
Okay.
Don't like this guy, but I respect his boxing. I rate him as a boxer. That's someone you got to take seriously when you get in there with him.
Okay. Oh, sorry. One
I
last
was say, which
question.
Fury is this? Is this Molly May's man or his older brother?
The older one.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah. One last question. Yeah. Obviously, PEDs. In boxing. Do you feel like, within reason, of course, ignoring the extremes, everyone takes them, but it's just about who gets caught?
This is the narrative I hear boxers say,
Okay.
where everyone's on the drugs.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that is the case. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I struggle to, you can't nail it down, but it's like when you look at athletes and then, years to come, you know what I mean? These legendary people you looked at and it's just like, they was juicing.
Yeah.
And it's like, in the moment we thought it was just amazing. So it's very possible it's happening. I don't really want to nail people to that unless they've had the test come up dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, but even then, there's still murky waters because boxing is so corrupt, man.
100%.
It's a mad game.
All right.
All right. Well, we've got some questions that we ask all our guests.
Okay, cool.
So first one is, tell us something people are usually surprised to learn about you.
Okay. I used to do spoken word.
No way.
Yeah, randomly, I would pull up at the spoken word like nights and just go and perform some some poetry I'd written. Like, yeah, but like I would never advertise it. I wouldn't really get booked for. I wouldn't take a booking for it.
Okay.
I would rock up. Like Flow Vortex, Natalie Stewart from Flowetry. She used to run, she still runs her night Flow Vortex. I go down there, perform sometimes. Like, I feel like poetry is one of those things where it's such a raw expression.
Yeah.
Certain times with a comedy thing, there's the expectation that you've got be funny, be funny, be funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, let me just talk though.
From the heart.
So yeah, so I guess sometimes like spoken word that's
That's it. When's the last time you did that?
years ago. Yeah, I put that to the side for a good while. Who knows? I might pull up somewhere again.
That's really cool. Okay, next question. Your biggest life lesson?
Biggest life lesson. I'd probably say the biggest life is knowing that every route that you take is going to be hard work. So, fall in love with the idea that hard work is going to be a part of the process. Do you know what I mean? And then, follow yourself. Because the thing is, you can do the safe, quote unquote, safe options, right? And get the job and say that job security is going to be this and da-da-da-da. But the world there is no job security. Nothing is safe. Realistically, you've got to really know that for you to get to where you want to be in this world, it's going to be hard work. And I think sometimes people kind of skirt around and do everything possible to avoid that bit. That's why a lot of things get started and they don't complete them. Do you know what I mean? Finishing things and falling in love with the idea of hard work will get you to some really good places. So that is something that really changed my life when I really bought in on that.
That's it. Love that.
Yeah.
I just remember that I've got a question about Rum Punch actually.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ask you before? Okay, I asked you before. So Rum Punch right now is just the one. Is it the first season commissioned?
It's at the pilot stage. It's pilot stage. Yeah. So I need all the support from everybody to listen to that, share that, stream that. It's on BBC Sounds.
Lovely.
So yeah.
Okay, lovely. And our last question for you. So basically, we do this thing, right, where we get a guest to leave a question for the next guest, and then you, as a current guest, are going to answer the previous guest's question. So the previous guest question, we had a fashion psychologist.
Okay.
And her question is, why are you wearing what you're wearing today? Tell us about it.
Okay. So I've got a hoodie, jeans, and Air Maxes. Air Maxes, I love Air Maxes. Like a hardcore Air Max fan. I've got so many bare different colors. Like the next pair will be Air Maxes. Like there's no need to guess. I don't know. I've like this is a black and red hoodie. It's a Hugo Boss top. It's got a dog on the front. Like whenever I perform, like you kind of will either see me with elements of black and red with stand up, and there is something in that. I know that with say Eddie Murphy in the leathers, Richard Pryor in the red on the Sunset Strip. So there's a something. I know black and red are their emotive colors. Passion, love, hate, fury, the blood. Like there's so much that's in that. So whenever I perform, there's more times than not when I'm doing like a special or a real, my night, headline night, there'll be an element of red in there. And it's just something I connect with. I don't know, but there's a lot of red in my wardrobe. I just have this thing. So that's,
Okay, lovely.
Before, Esther, you mentioned therapy, right?
Oh, yes.
And we haven't delved into that.
How could we not? How could I be sat here and not delve? I'm an advocate for therapy.
Yeah.
Very big.
Yeah.
Why was it necessary for you, Travis?
Curiosity, more so than anything, to be honest with you. I probably approached it like how, when you see a magician over there on the other side of the room doing tricks, you go over there like, oh, let me see then, try it. So I was very much like curious to see what this would do.
Yeah.
But just kind of going in, having some conversations and not feeling like someone was trying to do a magic trick on my mind.
Okay.
After a while, you start to see, right, there's actually an element of this that allows me to see myself in a very different way and seeing how I've come to be myself. So it wasn't somebody telling me about me. It was more me kind of assessing myself. And in that was really powerful experience where you start to look at your childhood and you start to see how certain habits got formed and the way you have certain triggers today where the first time that seed was planted. And I just started to really, it allows me to understand myself in the moment. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? Like there's that on the fly correction where I can say, okay, this is just my own trigger that's happening right now. Let me, you know what I mean? And I think it made myself a lot more accessible as far as my relationship, my missus, being a parent, being a son, my addressing of my siblings. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm the eldest sibling and, you kind of look at certain things you do, you try to hand down lessons and not realizing they got to learn some stuff for themselves. You can't beat them over the head with these life lessons. And so it's I feel like it made me a better person all round. Do you know what I mean? Not just as a stand-up comic, but then as a stand-up comic, there's a level of truth I tap into now where I'm on stage and I feel very different. I feel like I'm here. And it doesn't sound, the way I've worded that doesn't sound like it's not helpful, but there's something that happens. When you can write good jokes, you can go and say good, funny things. But being on stage in the moment and you're connected with people. So when I talk about the turning point in my career, I connect with people now, as opposed to a showcase of my joke writing abilities and my performance. So when I talk to my audience and my fan base, like, you know, the podcast fans, and like these guys, they're seeing a truthful side where they can sit down and go, you know, I know Trav still. Trav would do this in this situation. And it's not a case of on stage and off stage. And I'm not doing that. It's me as I am.
Love it.
Yeah.
You therapize how I don't know if therapize is the word, but I'm running with it. Sounds like a very great word. Should be in the dictionary. But that's how I therapy as well. In terms of like more the assessment. And it's so interesting when you find out when habits were formed or when the first time this ever, and it comes to you so randomly. So, and I'm so fascinated by the brain and how it stores so much. And like you can just randomly out of nowhere remember something that from 25 years ago. I don't know what the hell did that even come from. I'm so fascinated by the brain. I definitely want to go down the hole of like doing some kind of study and stuff about the brain. I'm so fascinated by it.
Yeah, 100%.
That's amazing to hear, man.
It's like those unlocked memories, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And does that happen during the session or basically afterwards? Like, it just comes to you and stuff?
Random. Sometimes something can happen before and then I'll be like, oh, when I have my next therapist, I'm going to speak to my therapist about this.
Yes.
But sometimes it can be in therapy. Because the way my therapist is the way I do therapy, I don't look to her for like a solution. She said she found that so fascinating about me from our first session is that she was like, you start here and then you get to the bottom of it by yourself. So you'll be like, I feel angry. But then by the time you're done talking, you come up with a reason why, what really triggers you. Like she's like, you break things apart kind of thing. So sometimes it can be very, very random. So sometimes you might just go in there thinking you're going to talk about this. But then talking about that, you now discover that actually the reason why this is such a thing was because this. And then you might find out it was like maybe when you were 5 years old or something. It's very interesting.
And it allows you to find grace for people that do you wrong. Like, for example, a lot of people are frustrated with their parents for things that they did or didn't teach them.
Yeah.
And when you start to kind of do the therapy, you start to kind of get a glimpse into what their life may have been like and how they formed the things they were dealing with, especially our parents from previous generations. They went through some unspeakable things for us to compare to.
Yeah.
And through that, we're raising people. So there's grace that needs to be afforded when we look back and not looking back like, I can't believe you just let me out here. It's like, yo, okay, cool, but we're here now. You know better. So let's move forward and try and be productive. And I think that's the grace it's allowed a lot of people to find in this process.
That's a word, because we're all really just human.
We're doing the best we can. Doing the best we can.
Everyone's winging it. You're right, because sometimes I look at my mom and I'm like, how do you have kids and you were doing all of that stuff? And sometimes I always say that with the older generation, they don't have the luxuries that we have in terms of knowing that, okay, that is called bipolar, that is called ADHD, that is called this, that is called this, or that is called depression. Because my mom was telling me stories about like her old friends. I'm like,
sounds like
depressed. That person, do you get what I mean? Or even like if someone like, you know, just serious mental health thing, they don't have a label for it.
They just give you a nickname.
And they're just like,
call him Sleepy.
You know,
this guy's depressed, bro.
He's just always like that. He's just always like that. I'm like,
he really doesn't want to go anywhere. He's going through it.
Trouble. Do you get what I mean? But then, to be fair, when you think about it, that's how it's been from history. Ren and I were having a conversation the other day, and I can't remember what it was about. And I was talking about how when I learned in history that back in the old, long time ago days, when they had a headache, they would drill their heads to let evil spirits out. Yeah. They didn't know it was a headache, and they didn't know that. Obviously, now we can take paracetamol and whatnot, and be back. But that's how things happen over time, over history. So for them, they didn't have a lot of names for stuff that they were dealing with. But then we have that now. So, and again, the stuff that we probably see, I know I told you, I keep telling you that there's something brewing with social media. I don't think it's normal that we get to see many people's lives in the way that we do. But again, the future generation, they're going to have a name for that. People know what it's like. When you go on social media and you feel the way you feel, we don't have a name for that emotion. But in the future, they would have discovered it. And they would be like, actually, this is it. This is how we can, solve it. But yeah, I'm very pro therapy, man. I think it's very important.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And you recommend it to everybody?
I do. Even just on a curious level of just go and see. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But just go and just take a look and just see. Because I never expected the changes and stuff that I went through to happen on this journey. So yeah, man, definitely take a look.
How did you go about finding someone that you thought, okay, you know what? This is
So I signed up to a thing called Black Minds Matter. And it was in the middle of lockdown. They had a thing where it was just like, we'll give, you the first 10 free sessions just through the COVID time that we're in and da-da-da. Signed up for it. I even forgot about it. And they just emailed me one time and it's just like, boom. And I went through it and I went with a black woman. I just felt like I would enjoy that type of conversation. Do you know what I mean? Connecting to my mom and that kind of similar experience. I was like, yeah, that might. And yeah, I found the perfect therapist for me. And it just, turned the corner, man.
And I want to say, just to add though, I think people always think that, I think it's a blessing that you're able to find, was that your first therapist?
Yeah.
And you're able to connect with them? That was the same with me. Like my first therapist, I was able to connect with her. But it's okay if you don't connect to somebody and then find somebody else. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to switch. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people feel like you have, because that's you feel like you're just, maybe you're like unwilling to learn or you're being difficult, which is why you haven't connected with that person. Sometimes your heart just knows, your spirit just knows that I don't think what I want to get out of this or what this could possibly do for me, I'm going to get with this person.
Yeah.
So I'm going to find somebody else. So I know people that if they have a therapist and they're like, something's not right, and they go try again, and then eventually find the right person. But just to put that out there. But last question for you. If you could please leave a question for the next guest.
Okay. In a world full of distractions, how do you remain authentic?
Oh, honey. Love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Answer that question, Esther and Emmanuel, please.
So I thought we were going to start with Travis. So in a world full of distractions, how do I remain authentic? I've said this before, that I don't look to people for validation. And that's not something that I haven't always been like that. The way I was raised, being Nigerian, being raised in Nigeria, being the firstborn daughter, my entire life has been shaped for me to look for validation. And so that's one thing that I think I was in sixth form was when I started to change the way I wanted to think and just started to trying to connect with what it is that I wanted and the reasons, just asking why about things. So I want to do this. Why do I want to do this? Why? Do you get what I mean? No, this is what society expects of me. This is what my family expects of me. This is what I've been told my role as a first daughter is. Why is that kind of thing? So I would say for me, it's that. Ask the question again one more time.
In a world full of distractions, how do you remain authentic?
Yeah, that's how I remain authentic. Okay. By asking questions.
Yeah.
And also by intentionally removing myself from the thoughts, ideas, and expectations of other people. I've said it many times, like I always say like it's nice to get compliments.
Yeah.
But I don't even want compliments. Because I don't want to ever rely on compliments. And something that doesn't hold more value just because you think it's nice. If I don't think it's nice, then no. If I think it's nice, then it's nice. Do you get me? So I don't look to people for their thoughts, their opinions, validations, nothing. It's me. Basically.
I feel like authenticity is linked to your real identity, which is then linked to your purpose. Yeah. And I remind myself that I only have one life.
Yep.
And I feel like everyone's been commissioned to do a particular job. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like spending too much time on those distractions is basically allowing you to basically, I guess, fail at your only job here on this planet.
Yeah.
What's the point in that? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like so many things occurred before our existence to make us being a reality. Why throw that in the bin? You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Facts. Yeah, no, I like that. And even to what you were saying, there's that quote from Maya Angelou: "Don't pick it up, don't put it down." And basically, it's like if I listen when you tell me I'm great, I have to listen when you tell me I'm nothing.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
So, yeah,
just too much noise. And it's so interesting because the older I get, I realize I really don't like noise. Like I really, and not like kids running about, my niece and nephew running about. I just mean noise. So even like social media, one day you just go there and you find I've deactivated because that's noise. Going on social media and scrolling. And I'm not talking about them annoying pictures where people attach music to it. You can stop doing that. It's not every function we need to do. But I'm just talking about just seeing other people's lives, seeing what you've got going on, seeing that all of that stuff is noise to me. And I like silence. I like serenity. I like peace. I like stillness.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me grounded. Brent, I'm sure you know I wasn't going to forget about you.
What was the question?
In a world full of distractions, how do you remain authentic, sir?
I had enough time to think about that whilst you guys were talking. I
bet you did. That's
I
why
don't
you
know if
threw
it
it to
is that this would have formed if you'd have just come to me straight away, right?
Mm.
And that's why I guess I appreciate, because I think the last time I talked to you, you just said that you moved out of London and things changed so much for you because you removed yourself from all of the hustle and bustle. So you were able to hear yourself much, much easier. Now, I believe that the voice in my head is stronger or louder than any of the distractions out there.
Okay.
And that voice is my connection with God.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it's, I don't think it's on my own strength that I am able to stave
Word.
off all of the noise that's out there. And that's my own
respect
strength,
that.
to be honest.
I respect that highly.
That's a word. That's a word. It's interesting. When I said I didn't care about anyone's opinions, I thought, oh, you little liar. No, because God's opinions are anyone I actually care
It's
about.
real.
That's the only standard I actually hold
It's very real.
myself to. So yeah. No, that's so wholesome. All right, lovely. So yeah, just again, let people know where they can find Rum Punch, please.
Yep. So go to basically just type in Travis J Rum Punch or Rum Punch Radio 4, Rum Punch BBC, and it will come up. It's available on BBC Sounds. It'll be on there for like another month. So guys, run up the numbers as much as you can. Do you know what I mean? We want a good case to move this project forward and just really be in that space. Follow me on Instagram, social media, Travis Jent. That's Travis Jayent. And yeah, I've got a lot of stuff like even tonight, Camden Comedy Club. I'm co-hosting the night there. Got some great comedians coming down. Tomorrow night, we've got the Undefeated Fight Watch Party in London Bridge. So pull up, watch the AJ fight. Got after party. DJ Ace is hosting that as well. So it's going to be a great night. And yeah, man, just stay tapped in, man. There's a lot of really exciting things coming, man. I got a project I want to announce in a few months' time that I'm a part of. The NDA got me tied up on that. I can't speak on that,
No,
but
we don't want you guys sued.
it's gonna be on the it's gonna be on the timeline heavy. It's a great project to be a part of. Still.
What I'm hearing is you're gonna come back.
Exactly.
That's what I'm hearing.
Stuff is happening. So, yeah, man, we're moving this thing forward and doing the best I can. So yeah,
Sick.
man.
Love that. Thank you so much for coming. This has been
Yeah,
a
man.
very, very
No problem.
great
Appreciate it, man.
conversation.
A lot of fun,
very,
man.
very inspiring.
No problem.
Really sick. Thank you.
Peace.
All right. Have we got work a joke today?
Nah.
No? All right, let's get into our last headlines then. Oh, Jojo.
Company far too much, you know.
No, honestly, you're so cool to speak to. Like, very inspiring, man.
I think we haven't even tapped into the whole variety that you have just buzzing in your head. But don't worry, there's a long life that you have in front of you.
Amen. Amen. That's a good prayer. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
All right. So our next headlines: a 5-year, multi-million-pound investigation has been launched into why Black people are more likely to develop more aggressive forms of prostate, breast, and pancreatic cancers. These illnesses disproportionately affect people within ethnic minority groups with higher mortality rates and earlier onset of the disease compared to their white counterparts. Researchers from across the UK, the USA, and Africa have been awarded £21 million to examine the causes of these inequalities amongst Black people through the Cancer Grind Challenges funding from Cancer Research UK and also from the US National Cancer Institute. The study will be co-led by Isidro Cortez Siriano from the European Bioinformatics Institute in Cambridge, who described this project as an exciting and major step forward for understanding and tackling cancer inequities. The same doctor was speaking and said this is crucial for dissecting the complex interplay of social, genetic, and environmental factors contributing to cancer. Next headline takes us to Haiti. We spoke about this earlier in this week. Unfortunately, man, a lot of stuff is happening, man, and basically the gang leader behind the violence, which is occurring in the Haitian capital, has warned that there will be a civil war if Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry does not step down. Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier, yeah, that's his nickname, Barbecue. It's Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier made a threat as members of his gang tried to seize the capital's airport to stop Mr. Henry from returning from abroad. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, said that the situation was beyond untenable. Thousands of Haitians have had to flee as a result of that. Aid groups say about 15,000 people Among them, many young children, have been displaced from their homes in recent weeks. Mr. Turk said that since the beginning of the year, a staggering 1,193 people have been killed and 692 others injured by gang violence.
Sad.
And the last headline takes us to Sudan, where fighting between rival generals in Sudan over the past almost 11 months now risks creating the world's largest hunger crisis. This is what the WFP have warned the United Nations World Food Programme. The executive director, Cindy McCain, said that the war between the country's military and a paramilitary group known as the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, has shattered the lives of millions across the nation. Tens of thousands of people have died in the fighting, which has crippled the country's economy and destroyed the infrastructure. As she wrapped up a trip to South Sudan, where over 500,000 Sudanese have fled, McCain said that the fighting risks triggering the world's largest hunger crisis. She also added that the people in Sudan have been forgotten, and now, in her words, millions of lives and the peace and stability of an entire region are at stake. McCain on Wednesday called on the warring parties to stop fighting and allow aid agencies to provide life-saving assistance, saying that the escalating food insecurity will have a significant long-term impact on the region. The WFP is also appealing for an injection of funding to respond to the spread of the humanitarian crisis to neighboring countries. And that's it for the headlines, guys. It's time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into our outro. All right, people, thank you for tuning in. As always, we appreciate it. Big up our researchers, big up our editors, big up all you lovely people in the comments, been interacting, and I hope you guys enjoyed the interview as much as we did. And of course, big up Travis. Big up Travis Bro. Don't forget, please check out Rum Punch. You guys know I can't lie for shit. You know, I ain't got time to be lying to people. But honestly, if you remember the episode when I came back and I said I watched it and I was raving and ranting about it, definitely check it out on BBC Sounds. It's called Rum Punch. It's really, really sick. And again, we can't keep having conversations about representation 100%. If when our people are given a chance and we're not going to support them and let the people know why it is that we need to be having these opportunities consistently. Do you know what I mean? So check out Rum Punch. It's out on BBC Sounds now. Follow us on our social media platforms as well. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and of course on the Clock app. If you want to send your dilemmas in, the number is 075 6484 1073. If you would like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, or you want to send dilemmas via email, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Have a great Thursday, people, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye.